This is Monty in the Morning, the show Phoenix Magazine readers voted #1 talk radio show in Arizona.
#1 during your morning commute.
#1 whenever news breaks during your day.
And #1 whenever and wherever you want to talk sports.
Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man, how the heck are you? It is the Monty Show. Thursday, November 10th, 2022. The Pipes are feeling better today.
A little more power.
Not as good as the Utah Jazz feel today. How about some game notes? Thank you. The Utah Jazz are an NBA best 10-3. Maybe I spoke too soon. They are tied for the most wins in the NBA with the Milwaukee Bucks. Are the Utah Jazz, and I should say, are your Utah Jazz actually the best team in the NBA? Are they even the best team in the Western Conference? We'll talk about that after they had a great team win in Atlanta. Your Utah Utes, those Pac-12 conference juggernauts, are 24-point favorites on an icy cold night in Salt Lake. We'll talk about that. Jake, wait. Do you want to apologize because of what happened yesterday?
What do you mean? What happened yesterday? What's the issue?
Wow. So I even have to explain to
First of all, can you turn the drops up? Because that's like a big part of the show, and it's really important.
We have to explain to our listeners how you let them down yesterday.
How did I let you guys down? What happened? What's the complaint today?
Yesterday was National Chicken Sandwich Day.
Right.
Whose job is it to make sure that we know that?
Mine apparently.
It's not.
It is. Yeah,
it is a hundo P his job. I issue an apology for A Jake over here who just
right. Yeah, I dropped the ball. He
let you down. But we'll cover it today. It's fine, because when do we not talk about food on this show? Presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. When you've been in Iraq, you need you need somebody to help you. You're asking yourself, hey, should I trust my insurance company? The answer is no. On an icy cold morning like this, and by the way, driving down Bangerter Highway this morning from South Jordan. Yeah, well, from South Jordan to the Mavericks Center, where we are live every morning, 6 to 9-ish. We saw at least 4 multi-vehicle accidents.
Yeah.
Today is one of those days where you can't trust anybody. And if you get in an accident today, call your insurance company, report it, and then immediately call the Advocates. UtahAdvocates.com. They understand that when you get in an accident on a day like this and you're shook up, that you're not thinking clearly. You need somebody that will advocate for you. You need somebody that's not going to ask you to pay them a consultation fee. No consultation fees at the Advocates, Utah. Advocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Without further ado, let's get to work on the Utah Jazz, who I think had one of their best team wins last night of the year, 125-119 over the Atlanta Hawks. It was a back-and-forth affair. The Jazz dominated the first half. The Hawks dominated the third quarter. The fourth quarter was as enjoyable of a quarter, I think, as we have seen this year. And again, I simply open the show by telling you it feels good to be a Utah Jazz fan this morning. They get the win. They have 10 wins, tied for the best number in the NBA with the Milwaukee Bucks. Jake, how good is this Utah Jazz team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're right now they're one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league, depending on what you look at. And yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely up there. I think that last night was a great example of their ability to be resilient and work through a game. I felt like obviously, like you just said, the Hawks kind of came out in the second half and were hot. They came out and were knocking shots down and got back into the game. And these two teams were going back and forth. And I felt like Lauri Markkanen was the guy that, so the Jazz kind of turned to for scoring. And I think because of the way Lauri plays, like I think you forget that he's a 7-footer, like the athletic ability that he possesses, is kind of crazy for his size. So when I look at Lauri, I look at Jordan Clarkson last night, I felt like had a couple of boneheaded shots, just just bad shot selection. Overall played well, but I still didn't love some of the shots I saw him taking. But overall, how good are they? I mean, I think on any given night they can beat anybody. But I do look at a lot of the mistakes the Hawks made last night, a lot of the silly turnovers, Trae Young trying to pass it to the corner from the weak side wing. That pass is never getting completed in the NBA. It's never going to get completed. And to me, I look at that game last night and I say, all right, I don't know the turnover number for the Hawks off the top of my head, but I know they had quite a few of them. And it just begs the question, all right, if you're playing one of the best teams in the league, the teams always talk about the Warriors, Celtics, Suns, whoever the hell you want to look at. They're not going to turn it over that much. And so my question is, when you get into one of those games with one of the best teams in the league, and they do value ball security and possession and really, protecting the ball and maximizing every possession, how does that game pan out for you? Because now I know that you can win a game against a good team like the Hawks. I know that you can do some things. So now I feel like the only question that remains is, what can you do against, the best teams in the league? How do you handle that? How do you adjust? So how good are they? I think they're probably a second-tier team right now where, you have that grouping of the best in the league, and then the Jazz are one level below. And if they show they can beat those teams, then I think you don't have a choice just based on record how they're playing to include them in that top group.
Well, I think when you look at this team, one of the things that stands out is it is truly team ball. There's no doubt about that. I look at the Cavs losing to Sacramento last night because Sacramento had a balanced attack. And I'm not saying the Cavs didn't play well. They did. I just think Sacramento was a better team. Why did the Atlanta Hawks lose to the Jazz last night? Because the Jazz got contributions across the board. Obviously, you have to have your guy. And last night, I thought it was Lauri Markkanen, who, again, I think is their best player. He is their leader. I thought those threes he hit in the fourth quarter were just gigantic. But I think the contribution that you got from Mike Conley last night was nothing short of sensational. Mike Conley looks like a couple of things. He looks like a guy who's really enjoying playing basketball right now, and he was in total control of this offense when he was on the floor. The opportunities that Mike Conley created for just about everybody and the ball movement, I think when Talon Horton-Tucker came in the game last night, you look at the way he moved the ball, you look at how good Talon Horton-Tucker was on 3 straight sequences for Malik Beasley, for instance. That's why this team is winning, because everybody's coming in and doing their job, but they're winning as a team. And I think when you were able to withstand that Trae Young run where he got all of his guys involved in the third quarter and then just started shooting the lights out in the fourth, but what did you do? You adjusted, you sent bodies at him. There was no flailing or panicking. There was actually systematic defense. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Jazz played good defense last night, but I think in the fourth quarter, Jake, I think they absolutely recovered as a team defensively, and I thought they actually looked really good.
Yeah, and those are some of the things we're looking for. Those are those adjustments and that ability to rebound and sort of work through the times during every NBA game that we all know and love where the team you're playing goes on a run. I mean, that's just how the league works. So to me, I think that the Utah Jazz are growing. That's what I think. I think they're staying committed to the team brand of basketball that's gotten them this far. But I also think they're growing. I think something interesting that happened last night was all the fouls that they got in the first quarter.
Yes.
Getting the Hawks, into the penalty early and really getting any team into the penalty early in any given quarter is going to pay huge dividends. Not only can you control the game more, it's going to change the way that they play defense, and it's probably going to get you much better looks than you would normally get because they can't take any risks defensively. So to me, I love the fact that they came out and they were looking to set the tone. Lauri Markkanen, you see all the different ways he can play the game. Early in the game, he's literally just getting the ball and driving to the basket. And he's getting fouled, and he's being really intentional about making sure that he creates that contact, which I love to see. Late in the game, as you just said, making all those threes, he's clutch. There's no other way around it. If he doesn't make those threes, this game is a hell of a lot tighter. Those threes allowed them to pull away and really secure it. So I just love where the team's at. There's no other way to say it. They're just in a great spot.
And by the way, how good was Walker Kessler last night?
Yeah, the guy, that's what I'm saying. Walker Kessler is another guy that clearly has a lot of athleticism. I think, if I'm happy to say something outrageous. I think that he has the ability to
hold on. I need to single you up.
Here we go.
Because Jake is going to go full outrageous. Go right ahead. What? Listen, man, I just want, when you're going to say something crazy like Walker Kessler is going to be better than Rudy Gobert.
Expecting this one.
Because that's what this feels like to me.
It's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
Go ahead, say it.
I'd rather have him than Rudy.
You'd rather have Walker Kessler than Rudy Gobert.
Yep. He costs a quarter on the dollar. He's more athletic. He does more for your team.
He clearly is more capable offensively.
More capable offensively. More of a team guy than Rudy will ever be.
If money was no object, absolutely, I'd rather have Rudy Gobert. But where this team is, and the fact that you're not relying on your big man to be your best player, I think that's the NBA model. So I don't disagree with you. Walker Kessler's not better than Rudy Gobert. But would I rather have Walker Kessler? Yeah, I would. That's absolutely correct. And I think when you look at the way that this team plays, that 3-possession sequence where he got blocked a shot, and then ran the floor for the dunk, I just thought was sensational. And it's a little look into what Walker Kessler can be and what you expect him to be. And I think that, again, when we talk about David Fizdale being here and developing this Jazz roster, I think that matters. And I look at Lauri Markkanen, if you're going to allow him to shoot wide open threes, he's going to shoot 6 of 8 from 3 on you. He's going to score 32 points. 5 guys are going to be in double figures. And I got news for you. You're not going to beat the Jazz. If Malik Beasley's going to be that open, you're not going to beat the Jazz. If Walker Kessler is going to run the floor and defend the way he did, you're not going to beat the Jazz. If Vando's going to play the way he played, again, you're not going to get big numbers out of Jared Vanderbilt, but he is critically important to your defense. And I thought there were stretches there in the first and the fourth quarter where his long arms actually made it difficult for Atlanta to execute. And I also think Trae Young played hero ball. I also think you cannot be built around a center the way Atlanta at times was last night. That's just dumb. Mm-hmm. But you can see why they held on to John Collins. By the way, I don't know how many people noticed that, but John Collins had himself a hell of a night last night. Like he looked like a guy that was absolutely wanting and willing to win the game for them. And the shocking thing was Atlanta didn't put John Collins in position to affect the game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know, I don't know, what Atlanta's strategy really is, because I didn't feel like there was a great, or not a great, but just a pointed strategy to expose the Jazz, to expose a weakness that maybe they had identified. And I love Trae Young, but I like what DeJounte Murray's bringing to this team a lot. I like the fact that he's physical. I like the fact that he causes a lot of problems in the paint, and he reads situations. And I feel like, obviously Trae had a big third quarter, but you almost, I guess, I almost expect Trae Young to be that, 30-point-a-night guy all the time for this team. And sometimes I feel like he disappears inside the game, not even intentionally, not even that he's shying away from it. I just feel like there's not a real grip on the game for him as one of the best players in the game. And that to me is a lot of what I saw last night too. And that's why I keep bringing up this point about what happens when they play the Warriors coming up. I think that's in 2 weeks or whatever we were looking at yesterday. Like what happens when you play the teams that have those bona fide superstars in the league? How does that pan out?
I also think these 2 days off that you have before you head to Washington to take on the Wizards, I think these 2 days off are really important. I think that was 4 and 5 nights last night. The Jazz have played a really compacted, busy schedule. And obviously everybody was off for Election Day on Tuesday. But, I mean, you need these 2 days to recover before you take the court in Washington. I would not have them on the floor today at all, for shoot around nothing. Today would be a day off. If it were me, I'd practice tomorrow, and then I'd play on Saturday. I mean, I just think this team needs to keep its legs. By the way, we have a poll running on our YouTube channel right now. Are the Utah Jazz the best team in the NBA? And after 60 votes, 70-30 say they are the best team in the NBA.
Okay.
I would not agree with that, but I think it's an interesting conversation. I think pretty clearly I'm going to say the Milwaukee Bucks. They're 10-1, and they are pretty remarkable. Are the Utah Jazz? And one of the things we'll do Here coming up in 15 minutes is, are the Utah Jazz better than?
Mm-hmm.
They're not. Are they better than Milwaukee? I don't know that I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can get on board with that. I don't think so. They're really good. I think they are the best team in the Western Conference here today. And not just because of their record. I just think the way they're playing and the way that they are shooting the ball right now, they are arguably the best offensive team in the Western Conference right now.
Yeah.
And that's not, well, because this team's not playing well. They're arguably the best offensive team in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
So, and at times, I think Atlanta is an interesting matchup just because of how small they can play, but also how big they can play. I think at times they're one of the top 10 defensive teams in the entire league, too. So it's just a matter of who's on the other end. Let's get your thoughts in here as we talk Utah Jazz basketball, presented by our good friends at TryDayTrading.com. You know, anytime we're talking hoops, NBA, or the Jazz, it's always presented by TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Just go there and watch the free webinar. That's all I'm asking you to do. Right now, while you're watching the show, go register for the webinar. No obligation, no cost. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. If you'll take that small step, it'll change your life. I can assure you of that. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Karen Monteminer, or no, now this person changed their name to Montemayor. So fully in. Morning, boss.
Bro, why do you have to start the comment section like that? Yesterday, the comments were amazing, and we accomplished pissing off Tanner, which I'm sorry, Tanner. We love you, bro. But why would you start the comment section off with a boss?
And there's a blue cheese reference. I want to donate to help families for Thanksgiving, but I want to make sure the money's not spent on blue cheese or anything of the sort. Thanks, boss.
Congratulations, but that's bullshit.
I don't know that we can believe you, bro. I don't know that we can believe you.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Jesse Harsh says, guys.
Right, guys.
That Beasley kid is something else.
Yeah.
He and as No BDNA says Beasley's a sniper. Yes, he is. Kenai Johnson, what's up, KJ? Top of the morning, fellas. Let's go Jazz. Hashtag take note. Cheetle Bags is back.
Cheetle Bags.
Time to jump on that Jazz bandwagon, Jacob.
No. Nope.
He called Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, you guys want to roll in here with Jacobs and bosses, and you want to troll. Okay, we can do that.
I mean, listen, it's 73 votes in 12 minutes, 70-30. The Jazz are the best team in the NBA. Listen, Jacob.
Yeah,
it's time for you to get on board with the Jazz. Scott Mansfield. Good morning, Scott. Whoa, feels like winning a road playoff game. It kind of did.
Lidocaine and B12.
Actually. Kurt Meyer says, morning, snow bunnies.
Hey.
Yeah, we're off tomorrow. We're headed to Mammoth after the show today, which is great. Cannot wait. Mammoth is buried in snow, so we'll make the 8-hour trek out west, gain an extra hour of sleep. It's going to be amazing. But one thing we will not have on this trip, by the way, is Jack in the Box, because there is no Jack in the Box between here and when you go out through Nevada, there is no Jack in the Box between here and Mammoth.
It's ridiculous.
It's a joke.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Illert Kinnick, my guy, what's up? If they win the next 2 road games, I'm a believer. Okay, well, I mean, if you look at the Jazz, obviously we know that they are going to play in Washington on Saturday. And then they flip around and go to Philly on Sunday, back-to-back Washington and Philly.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's a tough turnaround. I think you're going to split that because I don't see that you're going to go back-to-back and beat Philly.
Yeah, I think Washington's very beatable. I think
they are.
Philly's interesting because they do play with some speed. So it'll be and they're very day by day. Like some nights they're one of the best teams in the league, and then other nights they just can't get it going at all. So
Tyrese Maxey's my dude, though. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, he's bomb. I just think it depends on what Sixers team you get.
Are you getting me a Maxey jersey for Christmas or a Maxey? No, never mind. Eric and Raleigh says Jazz are the best team in the NBA right now.
No.
Really? Well, according to 71% now, as more votes come in.
Okay.
71% now say yes, the Jazz are the best team in the NBA. But
we haven't counted the mail-in ballots yet, so let's give it some time.
Or any of our listeners from Nevada, you haven't been counted yet.
Right.
Cody Strickland says, good morning. What's up, Cody? Derek says, my goodness, what an awesome game.
Yeah.
It was really enjoyable to watch. Even Mrs. Monty got into it a little bit.
Really?
Yes. Mrs. Monty got into it a little bit. That Euro to a left-hand layup by Markkanen.
Dude. Ridiculous.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Not the MSM.
No, not the MSM. Okay.
Not the MSM. Says, I'm in Montana, minus 20 below, enjoying this Jazz team. Minus 20 in Montana.
Yeah, start the fire.
Stay warm. John Jackson, JJ, what's up? Jazz fans are excited about the wins, but is the front office? Yeah, I think they are. This goes back to that question about tanking, not tanking. Do you want to tank? Are we tanking your mom? No. The answer is no all the way around. I don't know what your mom's got to do with this. No. Leave it out of your mom. That's right. The point is, there's no tanking. Thank you. There's no tanking. I just don't think the Jazz were ever in the tanking. Fash Moog. Warriors is not going right now. LOL. They are not. B. Skrills says, salute to the Jazz. I'm disappointed at my Cavaliers.
So you're on the team.
Well, no, he just owns the team. There's a big difference.
Sometimes I think I just say shit.
My Cavaliers, I'm disappointed at my Cavaliers for falling to the thirsty Sacramento Kings.
Right.
Well, the Sacramento Kings, I thought, actually played good ball. Because I don't have a life and I'm a loser, I've watched some of that game. And again, I will just say that Harrison Barnes can still play in this league.
Yep.
Somebody forgot to tell him he's old and washed up. Harry can still play. I think the Domantas Sabonis trade makes them competitive every single night because I think he's very good. But by the way, my guy, Donnie MVP.
Donnie.
Hey, Donnie.
Hey, Don.
38 points. 6 of 14 from 3. But you know why they lost? How many free throws did he shoot last night?
Donnie, please.
How about 0?
Donnie, you're out of your element.
When's the last time you didn't see Don go up to the free throw line and be like, whew.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie.
He didn't shoot a single free throw last night. They only shot 20 as a team.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
The Kings shot 35 and went 30 of 35. That's the difference in the game. Kings are good. Kings are not good. Kings are competitive.
Yeah.
They make it very difficult. I will tell you that. Nobi DNA says Hawks had like 19 more field goal attempts. Well, they also out-rebounded the Jazz for a couple of stretches there in the third quarter.
Yeah.
When you give teams like Atlanta second opportunities, it's a recipe to lose games.
Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely. Jazz
took 94 shots. The Atlanta Hawks took 109. You can't give up that many. And if you look at the total rebound numbers, it was 54-47 for Atlanta.
That's what I mean. So look at the turnovers for Atlanta.
11 to 20 for the Jazz.
Yeah.
They only had 11. So they were more, but this is my point though.
Yeah.
When you look at the 3-point numbers, the Jazz shot 17 of 39. The Atlanta Hawks were 8 of 28. You're not going to win in this league shooting, only making 8. The Utah Jazz hit 9 more threes. That's 27 points if you don't want to take your shoes off.
Yeah.
That's 27 more points.
And lost by 6.
Yeah, and they shot 43% from 3. It's what I said last year, but just different. If they're going to shoot 40% from 3, the Jazz are very rarely going to lose.
Yeah.
They're very rarely going to lose. Cheeto Bag says, Jazz winning with team ball. Cavs lost with Don playing hero ball last night. He didn't play hero ball, though. He did not play. I'm telling you, I watched a good part of that game. It was a weird feel, like he just wasn't aggressive to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
It was a weird feel last night. And the other guy I think that was not very good last night was Kevin Love. Kevin Love, what I saw of him anyways, he was not aggressive. This looked like a game where they were just not there. They weren't checked out. They just, how you have those nights where you're running in quicksand.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. Having said that, Don had 38, LeVert had 21, Jared Allen had 21, Mobley had 16, and they lost. They scored 120 points, and they lost.
Yeah, dude.
Which is pretty flippin' rare.
Yeah.
And Don didn't shoot a free throw.
Donnie.
111 votes, 66-34 say the Jazz are the top team in the NBA.
Mail-in ballots are coming in now.
Yeah, they are. It feels like, Arizona is starting to get those early voters in. Hiller Connect said, in your hearts, you know that the Bucks are the best team in the league right now. Oh, yeah, I don't think there's any doubt.
For sure.
There's no doubt about that. Let's see. Tyson Nordgren says, vote yes, you cowards. I love
Let's settle this right
now.
now.
Cowards is one of the best words ever. I love it. If you're like, you're such a coward. I love that word. I do. I absolutely love that word. Austie, what's up? Stop making excuses for all those so-called good teams that continue beating all the best teams on the road. You win on the road, you're going to win. Like, look at my Utah Grizzlies last night.
Mm-hmm.
Connor McDonald gets the game-winning goal in overtime. Grizzlies win in Allen, Texas. Good teams win on the road.
Yeah.
You can watch all the Grizzlies hockey action on YouTube. Just do me a favor and go subscribe to the Utah Grizzlies YouTube channel. You will not be disappointed. Be Skrills. Not only that the Cavs lost, but turning the damn ball over and not playing no defense. Well, defense, yeah. Anyway, Squirrels also says Donovan got a point that Sacramento crowd is hype all the time, no matter what their record is. They are. It's when I worked in Sacramento for a lot of years, and that is one of the best fan bases in the NBA.
Yes, absolutely.
Cody Strickland says no one likes to talk about this Jizz team. Jizz. Tune in and listen every weekday morning. The Monty Show, the only damn place to listen for jazz news. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Listened to the radio for a half hour yesterday. Anyone talking about the Jazz?
That was crazy. We were driving home yesterday after a pretty long day at work, frankly. We were driving home yesterday. It's 4:30 in the afternoon and nobody is talking jazz.
I'm going to say this again.
Like 4 to 4:30, not one mention of the Jazz. Radio in this town's broke. Josh Lovren says Jazz played good enough defense last night. Good enough. White Falcon 44. The White Falcon. Just puts a bunch of deer emojis up there.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
White Falcon says Bucks are still better. Austie says Mike Conley is kind of a big deal. He has many leather-bound books, and his apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Donnie, you're out of your element.
Okay. I would imagine that Mike has like a wood post bed as well. And he's got one of those things like a mosquito net that hangs over it. Uh-oh. But I don't know what a canopy bed. He's got a wood post canopy bed.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, he is serviced by a staff of maids and housekeepers on a daily basis. And, yeah. Okay. Kurt Myers says, Jazz are having fun and there are no heroes, just team strength. I would agree with that. B. Skrills. And honestly, I like seeing the Western Conference standing like this. Teams that you don't expect here at the top, Utah, Portland, and Phoenix. Well, I mean, who didn't expect Phoenix to be at the top?
Yeah.
I mean, my guy, again.
Right.
I can only tell you the best 2-3 combo guard in this league. And by the way, by far the best looking basketball player on the world.
Yes.
I mean, he's defying the Kardashian curse. And let's just be honest, Devin Booker's a sex machine with all those retro cars. He's the best player in the world right now. Your thoughts?
No, he's not.
He's not the best player in the world, but he is certainly playing good basketball.
Good. He's top 5 for sure.
I mean, when he, again, and I understand that momentum and all that good stuff, when Devin Booker plays the way Book played last night, I just don't see that there's a better player at the 2-3 position in the NBA. 5 of 7 from 3, 32 points, 10 assists, 4 boards, 2 steals, 1 turnover.
Any questions?
I mean, he's starting to, in my opinion, he's starting to play that way pretty regularly.
I'm for real.
And if he's going to average 26 to 28 points and he's going to make 38 to 40% of his threes, you're screwed. I mean, the guy is, I'm telling you, and I know that we've argued about this for days. Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker is absolutely a comparison, and it's close.
Yeah.
Devin Booker's a better player.
Agreed.
He's a better player, and I think
Y'all feel me?
I still maintain that Donovan Mitchell, if it ended today, should be in the MVP conversation, as should Lauri Markkanen. But I think Devin Booker is going to have to take that step forward because Chris Paul's already hurt for that team. Water's wet. Chris Paul's hurt.
Yep.
I just think Book is ready and primed.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's a Phoenix Sun, though. I think if Robert Sarver truly sells the team and exits that situation, I think he stays. If it lingers on for a year or so, a year and a half, I think there's a chance he's out. Because this team's going to fall apart here pretty quickly. I think they have a year, maybe next year as well. But Chris Paul is going to be done. Yeah. I mean, he can't stay healthy. When he leaves, what becomes of the Suns? Because DeAndre Ayton doesn't want to be there. Jay Crowder clearly doesn't want to be there. I don't know this Cam Johnson can't stay healthy ever.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be able to hang on to Mikal Bridges?
Every great team obviously has the dissolve period, right?
They have a window.
Yeah,
they have a window, and I don't know that the Jazz are still the Suns are still in a championship window.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case or not.
It's tough.
I really don't. It's a big question that I have about them in all seriousness. Wow, look at that. Mike Maples gives us $50.
Thanks,
Dude.
Mike.
He says the Jazz are just fun to watch. Ainge keeps driving up the trade price on these guys. I know what it's like to have needed help, and I'm fortunate to be able to be in a place to help now myself. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Mike gives us $50, which will go right into our holiday fund to help families at Thanksgiving and Christmas, because that's what we're trying to do. We're really, and I really need you guys to nominate families. It's been interesting going through that, and I'm not going to get back into the details. You can watch a show from yesterday, but keep nominating families. We've gotten a pretty good amount of donations. If you just need a lift, if you just need, hey, if $100 in groceries at Thanksgiving would help your family, hit me up on DM. Let's connect. You can be anonymous, absolutely. But we love giving back because you guys have really, the numbers on this show right now are incredible.
Facts.
It really is incredible. And, we ask you every day to give back by going to people like TridayTrading.com, going to people like Barbecue Pit Stop, Quick Quack Car Wash. But the best way to give back is to put money in people's pockets at the holidays, because that's where they need it. So any donation you make through the tip function on the show through the end of the year will go directly to helping Utah families at the holiday season. So if you need help, if groceries at Thanksgiving or Christmas, or, if you know a kid that, somebody DM me about a kid that lost his dad, happy to help, and let us know. DM The Monty Show, MONTY The Monty Show, and we will absolutely give that money right back to the community. Thanks, Mike Maples. Appreciate you very much. Wahalo says, greetings from Finland.
So, dude.
Wow, the finisher has some fans on the show.
Yeah.
See, that's the Lori Mark.
Because he's Finnish, right?
The finisher.
Right, and he's finisher, and he's a Finnish guy, and it's Finland.
He says, 3 a.m. Jazz games don't allow much sleep, but the hype is real. Darn right. Darn right. Let me ask you this, Wahalo, are you only watching the Jazz because of Lauri Markkanen? I'm curious about that. Anthony Cornell, this team really shows how predictable we were last year. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah. That
is absolutely right. I agree with that. Eric and Raleigh, the Jazz radio play-by-play guy has a voice like sandpaper. It's so bad. You don't like David Locke. The guy's name is David Locke. Ron Boone, the legend. Ron Boone. Booner. I don't mind David Locke. I can take David's that guy. He's no different than Colin Cowherd or Jim Rome. I can listen for short windows.
Yeah.
I cannot listen to David Locke call an entire game.
No, and my feedback just would be that, I wish that he gave the score more and told me how much time was on the clock. I wish he gave more insight just into where they were at in the game. And then also, I think that sometimes, the meandering kind of burns me out. Like, sometimes I wonder, what are you even talking about, man? Like, can we just get some play-by-play here?
Yeah, David Locke doesn't often say Jazz 32, Hawks 29.
9 minutes left.
2:10 left in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He doesn't update the game a lot. I agree. I would absolutely agree with that. I don't dislike David Locke.
No, it's not a dislike thing.
No.
That would be the feedback I have.
No, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Roy Walsh says this team is just another first-round flameout team dressed up differently. Could be, but who cares? You had no idea they would be this good. You're 10-3 after 13 games.
Yeah.
Remember what I said, January 7th against the Chicago Bulls, will this team have won 30 games? Because I think that's their first opportunity to win their 30th game. I would not be surprised to see them drop 2 in a row in Washington and Philly. I think when you're playing this many games in that many days, you're going to have swoons. You're going to up and down. But I think their first chance is January 7th against the Bulls to win their 30th game. Because, by the way, the Bulls lost again last night. I don't want to talk about it.
Frustrating.
Jesus Christ Destroys Marxism says, how about the word schmuck? No, I don't like that word. Mike Maples, I read that one. San Diego State Aztecs. The Kings are now shining a purple light in Sacramento night sky when they win a game. How many times is that going to happen this season? Probably 2 more. It's a pretty cool purple light, by the way.
Yeah.
It's in downtown Sacto. Like I have a lot of respect for Kings fans. It's been a tough road for them.
Yeah.
It's been a tough road for them. Let's see. Joe Floor Furman.
Okay.
Joe Floor Furman.
Who the f*** is that guy?
You know. Don't need a superstar to become a team contender. The Utah Jazz are playing a, quote, we not I basketball. Shout out from the Philippines, Joe Floor. Philippines, appreciate you,
bro.
Go
Jordan Clarkson.
Go
man.
Jordan Clarkson. Dominion Small. Okay. Rudy Gay is a waste of a spot. I never think it's going in. Free Ochai. You know, it's funny. I just don't know that he fits in this league anymore. And I'm not one to tell a guy to retire.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay can still shoot the 3, but how many teams need a corner spot up 3-point shooter?
Well, I think there's value in it. I mean, may be strong, but like I think that problem is it doesn't go in enough. Like there's not. I tend to agree with that I'm not 100% confident it's going in every time he shoots it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Jordan Clarkson is a Filipino. Give her 101. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know.
That's awesome. Erich Tavera. Erich, let's go. Good to see you. JC just got bigger here in the Philippines, and now many people are being introduced to marketing. Darn right. Austie says Grizzlies subscribed. Appreciate you, Austie. Thank you. If they're going to keep winning, maybe they should try and bring Jay Crowder back to Utah.
I just think he's a malcontent, bro. Like
I don't know. It's awfully difficult to put a guy who refuses to play for a championship caliber team on your roster.
Yeah.
On this roster.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. JC says, destroys Marxism, says, even though Mitchell's not with us anymore, I think Donovan is still better than Devin, no matter what, regardless, Monty says.
Okay.
I mean, that can be your opinion. A guy that doesn't get to the free throw line can't be the best player in the league. You can't have nights where you don't get to the free throw line, and Don knows that. I think Donovan Mitchell is vastly improved this year. I mean, and I know we've talked a lot about that, but Don is vastly improved. I mean, his 3-point shooting range got better somehow, and I don't know how that's possible. But I think that's why you see him missing more threes, because he's shooting from deeper. But his mid-range game, his springs, his explosiveness, his body build got better. And you can see it. It's made a difference defensively. I think one of the things that Don definitely is defensively is more stout. I think he's stronger. I think he's a better defender. I think he's a much better passer. And I think it's because he's getting more space to play make. And I think that team trusts him, and he trusts guys like Darius Garland. And I think that's why he's able to pass at the rate that he's able to pass at.
Yeah.
And I think you're seeing that.
Yep.
So I just think there's no doubt he's a better player. There is no doubt about that at all. 160 votes in now. 62% say the Jazz, yes, are the best team in the NBA.
Okay. Well,
you buying that?
I'm not buying that. Not yet. Need to see some more.
You're not buying that.
I really enjoy watching them play. I really enjoy, like what they're doing right now, but I want to see them against the Bucks. Like against the Sixers. If you beat the Sixers handily, then we can start having that conversation. Like, and it also depends on what Sixers team you get. Like, I think a lot of nights the Sixers don't really show up. Like, if I'm being honest, like James Harden will brick like 20 shots.
James will brick.
Yeah, so like it depends what team you get.
By the way, did you see that LeBron got hurt last night again? Yeah. I mean, I'm just all I can say is the guy you're wasting LeBron James. He has been a failure in LA. There's no doubt about that. I think the LeBron James injury is absolutely one of the biggest stories in sports, presented by Quick Quack Car Wash. Rain and snow. How about that, Utah? We woke up with another dusting of snow. Telling you, the roads are cold this morning. Your cars get nice. Your car's getting salt. Absolutely get to Quick Quack Car Wash. You'll love the experience. They're friendly people. And again, I'm a big time management guy. I'm in and out of Quick Quack no matter really how long the line is. You're generally out of there in 5 to 7 minutes.
Fast.
And you don't have to deal with any stupid ATM style machine. You deal with a human being who helps you get your car wash pass, so they'll scan your pass. Like, it's super easy. I mean, it's everything you want in a car wash is at Quick Quack Car Wash. LeBron James leaves the game last night against the Clippers in Los Angeles with a groin injury again, which I think is a huge story. He is going to have an MRI today on that groin to determine a path forward. And you know the thing about the Lakers that drives me crazy? LeBron gets hurt. What does Anthony Davis say? I have to step up. And when he said that, a member of the media said, well, what do you mean by that? And he's like, well, I just have to be more aggressive with the ball in my hands. So wait, you're not being aggressive now? This is the dysfunction that has become Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
You're supposedly the best big man in the NBA. You're the most skilled big man. You're the best shooting big man.
Allegedly.
And you're not being aggressive because LeBron's on your team. Is that LeBron's fault or AD's fault? It's probably part and parcel, but if you're Anthony Davis and you have the ball in your hand, how are you not trying to dominate every single possession? At least 8 out of 10, because it's not natural to dominate every possession.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. By the way, the other story in the NBA that I think is a big one, how about Kevin Durant last night? How about the Brooklyn Nets last night? How about giving a game ball to Jacque Vaughn last night? They're now permanent coach.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big deal, what's going on in Brooklyn, and it's crazy to say it out loud. I think they're a better team without Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you don't have the drama. Like, when he's not there, you notice what happens. Basketball's better. They win some games. Like, the mood around the team's better. Like, we don't have to talk about anti-Semitism. Like,
I mean, your boy put up 29 points last
Kevin
night.
Durant. You know who I am.
And he was only 1 of 5, but he put up 29 points on 19 shots because he was 8 of 10 from the free throw stripe. But again, what did he do? He gave you a triple-double because he gave you 12 boards, 12 dimes, a steal, 2 blocks, 29 points, 8 of 10 from the free throw line.
Don't you know who I am?
Without Kyrie Irving, he becomes a total complete package again.
Yep.
He brings the ball up for them. He distributes for them. He shoots for them. He scores for them. He actually, the 2 blocks he had, I saw them both. Like, he's playing good defensive basketball. But they also get 23 points from Seth Curry off the bench, who actually is healthy enough to play.
Yeah.
It's amazing when that team gets healthy and they're playing a legit 15 guys last night. I mean, you're getting 9 minutes out of Patty Mills. You're getting 24 minutes out of Ben Simmons off the bench, by the way.
Yeah.
Off the bench, Ben Simmons. 6 points, 9 boards in 24 minutes, as well as 4 dimes and 2 steals. That's who the Brooklyn Nets are. And when they play that way, and again, I'm not saying the Knicks are world beaters, and I understand the New York Knicks are an incredibly flawed team. I totally get that. But if the Brooklyn Nets are going to play like that, they're going to win the Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. They are. And this is the conundrum, I guess is the right word, that the Nets find themselves in. Why have you not cut Kyrie Irving yet? You're better without him.
Where's the loyalty come from? What has he done for you?
I don't know. I think that they have botched this Kyrie situation so badly. You've asked him, in my opinion, to do far too much to get back. I think that there's a double standard here. Now, is anti-Semitism in any way, shape, or form acceptable? Clearly it's not. I'm not saying it is. But you have to apply some level set to him. And I don't think they did that. To ask him the money thing,
But I don't think they want him back.
I don't know that they do, but I think, and this goes Jay Williams, if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I tweeted this Jay Williams video, and he said exactly what I said on the show the other day when this came out. You can't hold Kyrie Irving to some astronomical standard and think that people are going to be okay with that. And when you are talking about racism and inequality, there has to be a level across the board, because whether you're a racist and a misogynist, which means you hate women, or an anti-Semite, which means that you're, spreading anti-Semitism, anti-Jewish rhetoric, which Kyrie did. You're no different than a guy that's in the Klan. You're no different than a guy that, whatever racist organization you want to point to, the racist and the anti-Semite are exactly the same person.
Yeah.
So you should punish them equally. When's the last time somebody, pick your racist incident, When's the last time they had to donate money, meet with community groups, it's over the top in my opinion. Cut him. You should have cut him. If you don't want to cut him, try and trade him. You can't bring him back in that locker room, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you can't.
Agreed.
I just think the Brooklyn Nets are better without him. Football at 50 in 5 minutes. Let's get back to your thoughts on the NBA. By the way, I know that we have a ton of NBA fans in the show this morning. Who's your team and what do you want to talk about with it? I'm telling you right now, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan.
Yeah.
And I point to this team and losing to New Orleans because you could not figure out how to defend Zion Williamson last night is inexplicable to me. And again, I just ask, you can't have Patrick Williams. We are not trading Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams last night in a matchup where he should do well. 7 points, 3 of 7 from the floor in 26 minutes. 4 rebounds. I am not trading. No, I will not. Yes.
So that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, you should trade Patrick.
You should have traded him.
Io DeSumo, don't trade him. But I look at this team last night, Zach, and I don't hate Zach LaVine. I want to make sure people understand this. I'm a diehard Bulls fan.
Yeah.
I don't hate Zach LaVine. I hate his knee. And the guy just in a pretty big game, he only gives you 23 points. DeMar DeRozan, 33 points, 14 of 26. By the way, he does that on 0 of 2 3-point shooting, and he had a poster. Yeah, my guy DeMar caught a body last night.
Yeah.
You look at Zion Williamson, 31 minutes, 6 of 11 from the floor, 19 points, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds. And he arguably beat you. Now, I'll also say Herb Jones defended out his air.
Yeah.
Herb Jones is a good player.
Yeah, I mean, the Pelicans have ways to make your life difficult, And so if you're not going to be disciplined, you're probably going to lose to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Ed Kiley says, Anthony Davis has always been a lazy player. In the mold of a Rashid. Rashid was my guy.
Savage.
Rashid Wallace.
Savage, bro.
Andrew Bynum, Derek Coleman, Joe Barry Carroll. Derek Coleman was not a lazy player. Derek Coleman was not a lazy player. But I don't disagree that Anthony Davis. I don't know. Lazy's a very nasty word.
Yeah.
Aggressive in nature is what's lacking.
Yeah.
All those guys were not aggressive by nature. Yeah. But they were all finesse players. Sam Perkins, the same. Right? You remember Big Smooth? Like, those guys were just not aggressive by nature. But those guys are also being phased out of the game. So I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joe Floor Furman says, what's going on with the Utah Jazz? They did really fool NBA organizations. Well, they're playing good basketball.
Yeah.
Zesty's Retro in Game says, guys. Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Hey, guys.
Dude.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
I think Kentucky's probably the better basketball team this year. But what the Jayhawks have done, the Kansas Jayhawks have done.
Kansas and Kentucky on the same floor.
Well, it's going to happen, Court McMullen says Nets are a KD injury away from the VW sweepstakes. You're not wrong.
I mean, but that's what they've been the last several years, right? Like, that's what you saw last year. You saw, hey, you got all these injuries and it's Kevin Durant and everyone else, so if he gets hurt, you're done.
Yep. Boyd Lake says, guys, NFL music in 6 minutes. Now it's 2 minutes and it won't be NFL music. We'll explain that in a minute.
Hey, guys.
Josh Levern said, did you guys catch the video of the old Miss LSU WSOC with a full on Donnybrook? Yes, I did. I did. How could you not on Twitter? Jeff Johnson says, I'm not a basketball guy, but you guys make it exciting to listen to. I'm here every day. Well done. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Derek Coleman was a head case, Eric and Raleigh said. That's the absolute fact.
Yeah.
But remember him at Syracuse? You guys don't. You don't even know who Syracuse is. Anyway, the point is, Derek Coleman in college was a savage. The guy was just, and remember him with the Nets. Like, man, he was a good player. Michael Harris says Suns announcer Al McCoy is a god. Shazam was. But again, the golden era, like Hot Rod Hundley, I miss Hot Rod every day.
Yeah, the golden era of sports announcers over.
I was really lucky. Many of you don't know my career, nor should you. But I actually worked for the Lakers during the Shaq and Kobe heyday. And my job at that time was not full-time as an on-air talent. I produced the Laker line with Chick Hearn. So I got to sit next to Chick Hearn for a lot of basketball games. Right when Staples Center opened, right when Kobe and Shaq were good, when they beat Rasheed Wallace. It's not Wallace, it's Wallace. And Scottie Pippen and the Blazers in the Western Conference Final. Like, Chick Hearn, I mean, obviously Vince Scully, Harry Carey, like that generation of guys, you miss those guys.
Yeah.
You miss those guys. You miss the Brennemans of the world. You miss the Bucks of the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different day. Eric and Raleigh says, hard disagree, Jake. John Miller and Dave Fleming in San Francisco are still broadcasting. Well, yeah. I think Dave Fleming is one of the most underrated commodities in all of play-by-play.
Yeah.
And I know both those guys pretty well from my time at KNBR, and Dave Fleming is just a really good dude.
Yeah, he's a clean-cut professional.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is. Chick Hearn, hello. Chick Hearn, wow, what happened there?
Hello.
Jeez. Austin says, I feel bad for Jacque Vaughn when the Brooklyn Divas start acting divalicious again. Gonna happen. Sean Mierzinski, Chick Hearn and Vin Scully, nobody's beating that duo.
No.
Well, I disagree with that, actually. I think the way that you beat that duo is by throwing the football at 50. I mean, that's...
You like it? Okay, yeah,
I should stop.
Yeah, you should stop.
Yeah, that's the football at 50 music now. Because we got a copyright claim for NFL music yesterday.
Heavy sigh.
Vibe with me, man.
It's a pretty good song.
Come on, everybody watching this show right now. Come on.
It's a good song.
Everybody watching this show.
Yeah, just a little,
Come on, bounce a little bit. Let's go. Bounce a little bit.
It's good. Let's
get into it. Football at 50 presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase at $25 or more. Every weekend, man. Every weekend.
Yes.
Football, baseball, basketball, summer, winter, fall. There's never been a better time to put a Papa Murphy's Pizza on the Traeger smoker outside, because that pizza smoking smell is pungent. It infiltrates.
It permeates the air.
It infiltrates your mom. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You'll love it. Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25. Okay. One question, and then we have to look at NFL quarterbacks as though they were women. Thanks to NFL memes on Instagram. Pete Carroll hates Russell Wilson.
Right.
And Russell Wilson hates Pete Carroll. Pretty clear. But here's my question. Was it Pete Carroll or was it Russell Wilson? Or was it the Legion of Boom why the Seattle Seahawks were so good? Because again this week, Pete Carroll took another shot at Russell Wilson. Oh, hey, I'm Pete Carroll, and all I do is chew gum.
Hey, guys.
And he essentially ripped Russell Wilson for not wearing an armband to call plays. And Russ said, well, I didn't need to do that. And Pete Carroll's like, yeah, in the past, there was some resistance to that. Geno did it, and now, Eric or Josh Lovren, Coach Lovren. Geno Smith, GS7, my guy. I hate Pete Carroll now. I hated Pete Carroll at USC. I hated Pete Carroll at the Patriots. When Pete Carroll dies, I will say rest in power, my guy Pete Carroll.
When Pete Carroll dies.
Well, he is 110 years old.
Do you think they'll bury him in a pile of bazooka?
Probably. Listen, Pete Carroll is a good human being. I hate him as a football man. Russell Wilson, you're an average quarterback. You're not special. You're not unique. You're not elite. This is the Aaron Rodgers discussion. You're just a quarterback, dude. Without an elite defense, without great wide receivers, without a really good offensive line, you're just not that special.
Which continues to separate Tom Brady from everybody else.
That's what I'm saying, man. Justin Herbert in San Diego, who now plays in LA at the Rams house. Justin Herbert, special.
Right.
Russell Wilson's not.
Right.
Speaking of Justin Herbert, the Instagram account NFL memes _IG had some fun with some NFL quarterbacks. And it's a very simple question, guys. Would you? That's all it is. That's all this is. That's it. The very simple question is, would you? with Mrs. Lamar Jackson.
Bro. Deshauna Watson?
Deshauna Watson. I said Lamar Jackson. Deshauna Watson's a hell no. And the question was, how many beers will it take? They say 7 beers, 6 with a massage. Get it? Like massage first. Get it?
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Aaron Rodgers?
Wait, is that Flo from Progressive?
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I'm telling you right now, the answer's hell no.
Yeah, hell no.
Would you? Hell no.
Hell no.
What about Kyler Murray? Come on. Look how low Kyler is because he's short.
It's not Kyler. It's
I'm
Kylie.
sorry. Kylie Murray.
Thank you. Respect it.
Short. The answer is hell no. Let's get into some maybes. How about Kristen Cousins? Well, the problem is, I agree, bro. Hell no. That's just Kurt with a wig. That's Kirk Cousins with a wig.
Yeah, obviously not.
Obviously not. Now, here's one where I'm like, I'm a no. I'm a hard no on Patricia Mahomes.
Nice mullet, bro.
I'm a hard no.
No way.
But what about Justine Fields?
Gotta check ID first, but one.
Not Justin Fields and not Justine Fields. The answer's hard no.
Yeah.
Now, here's where we get into some trouble.
Here's the true contenders. Oh.
Jenny Garoppolo.
Damn.
What about Jenny Garoppolo?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What about
No.
Tona Brady?
No. Tona.
I'm a shot.
Nah.
Give me a little fireball.
I love how it just says sober.
Because Tona Brady's not terrible.
It's whatever Garoppolo's was.
Now
all day.
listen.
Jenny
I think
Garoppolo.
Jenny Garoppolo is
Dude, smoke show.
But here's the true winner. Zachy Poo.
Bro, what?
Zachy Poo. Are you kidding me?
Kinda cute, one beer.
I'm telling you, by far.
Okay, comments. What
By far.
What are people saying?
Jenny Garoppolo's the winner.
All day.
All
All
day.
day, bro.
All day. Let's see. San Diego State Aztec says, congrats on the new NFL music. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying. If you weren't blowing up listeners, you wouldn't matter to them. Very true.
Well,
very true. Let's see. Eric and Raleigh says, meow. Exactly. Zach looks like Mama. Does he? Is that why I'm oddly? Well, yeah, that's Lisa Wilson.
is it the jawline?
It's Lisa Wilson. Yeah, I think it is. Boyd, I think you could be right about that. I think you could be right about that. Yeah, Jeremy Severe says Zach looks like his mom. You know what I'm saying? Kurt Meyer says Lisa Wilson. Exactly right. Talking with Raphael. How's the baby, Raphael? Says Tona Brady is the GOAT. Haha, exactly right. Exactly right. Salty Drunk says Marv Albert was great. Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Baby head Kylie. Exactly right. Exactly right. Jeff Johnson says that's hilarious. You know, I think these are great. I do. I think whoever came up with this, but again,
dude,
Jenny Garoppolo,
right there,
that's
dude.
the one.
Jesus.
That is the one. There is no doubt about that. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Absolutely.
Yes.
By the way, make sure you use the promo code Monty25 to get your Papa Murphy's pizza. Save 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. And the November special, is so good.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Order the limited time Hog Heaven pizza today at papamurphys.com.
Dude, the Hog Heaven.
Bomb. What are we having for breakfast?
I don't know.
Like, we got to have something, dude. I need beans in my life.
We may be doing a Beto's run before we head out to Mammoth.
Beans, dude. I need some beans.
But before you order breakfast, order your Papa Murphy's pizza for Thursday Night Football. Use the promo code Monty25.
By the way, not to interrupt, how crappy is this matchup tonight?
It's not good.
Real quick.
It's not good.
Panthers, Falcons?
It's not good.
Are you kidding me?
And Atlanta's a 2.5 point favorite on the road. And
Good
they're
Lord.
not even playing Chaboy.
Come on.
Baker's not the starting quarterback there. It's not good. It's not good at all. 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza, who always presents football at 50.
So wait, what did we think of the music? We didn't even get any feedback on the music. Like,
Yeah,
we put together this great song, and like, what about the music?
Yeah, everybody. Jenny G might not throw fourth quarter interceptions in the playoffs. Maybe I'll take her. Exactly. Josh Lovren, of course, is in on Russ. Broncos thought they were getting Jenny G and ended up with Patricia Mahomes at QB right now. Rip Wilson, sure. Make sure to hit that like button. This episode is fire. Thanks so much, Raphael. Appreciate that. I appreciate you guys hitting the like button. All 220 of you that are watching the show right now,
go.
if you hit the like button, let's at least, can we get 100 of the 221 that are watching the show right now to hit the like button?
You don't even have to have an account to like it.
No, you don't. Come on, give us a like on that. That would be huge. We really appreciate you guys doing that. Appreciate it. Let's see. Kurt Meyer says, go back to the copyright infringement. I love the NFL music, but man, when they strap you with that, you can't do it. Jeff Johnson says music wasn't terrible. It's a grower.
I don't know. What does that mean?
I'm going to leave it. It grows on you.
Oh, it grows on you.
But next hour, again, we all need to get the Monty vibe going again. Telling you. You bounce with it a little bit.
Yeah.
It is. Eric and Raleigh says, question about Jack in the Box on the way. You don't go through Reno to get to Mammoth? No. You go, you essentially split the state of Nevada right in half.
Okay, here we go.
You do. You split it right in half. You go out to Casinoville, which I can't. Wendover. You go out.
Casinoville.
You go out to Wendover, and you essentially just head southwest from Wendover.
Yeah.
So you do not go to Reno. It's all country back roads. You're doing 100 miles an hour the whole time. It's amazing.
Which I'll be really curious to see how this goes because with all the snow and stuff they've been getting.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder because if you're on the back roads, it saves you 2 hours of travel.
2 hours and about 200 miles.
It saves you a lot of time. But there's been a lot of snow, so I don't know. I've got the Quattro.
Right.
So I'm not really that worried about it per se.
Right.
Worried about it.
Right. Yeah, I think the thing, like this morning we had a little bobble because it was icy.
Dude.
Okay, maybe not a little bobble, maybe like a big bobble.
A big bobble getting on Bangater.
Yeah, it was just one of those deals where it's cold and it's icy. Like, I don't, what do you do? So I don't know. That back road thing is really fun. The last time we went,
we had a great time. Last year, we went really a year ago. Here it is, by the way. Let me get that comment down. The Monty Show is presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. When you need an attorney, make sure you go to the Advocates. That's the route we're taking. The route in the middle of the screen is 8 hours and 6 minutes. If you go south through like Cedar City, St. George, it's 10 and a half hours. If you go out I-80, you can't just go straight across. You got to. It's 9 hours and 4 minutes. It's another hour. I don't know, man. Do we take the risk and go down the middle of the state? What do you think?
I mean, part of me feels kind of like because there's nothing out there in those back roads. Like
nothing.
There's nothing.
There is
out
no
there,
gas.
bro.
There is no.
Like you have one issue out there and you're done.
You can fire a cannonball and never kill anything but a cow occasionally.
Yeah. So I don't know. It may be wiser to take the
high road,
the freeway. Yeah.
Maybe we might do that. Again, Utah Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. Weather's turning, man. They're doing all this stuff about safety awareness. If you don't follow the Advocates on Instagram, you should. They do a lot of stuff on car safety, and we just went to Big O Tires and got the Klaus all set up on tires, so that's all good. But let's talk Utah Jazz basketball right here on the Monty Show. They win again in Atlanta. Jake, I'll just ask you straight away. Are the Utah Jazz the best team in the NBA?
I don't know if they're the best team in the NBA. I think that there's a lot of contenders for that. I think, that conversation starts with, who has a superstar, who has talent, who has that setup. And I think that obviously not every team has that. And I look at this Jazz team, and one of the first things I say is that while Lauri Markkanen is a phenomenal player, my opinion is right now through these first, 13 games you've played so far, like he's absolutely an all-star. He's absolutely your go-to guy right now. I look around the league at other teams, and I think these next 2 games are going to be really telling. Like if we use Washington as an example, you look at Bradley Beal, you look at Kyle Kuzma, you look at some of the guys they got there, like they have some talented guys. I think this Utah Jazz team is better than Washington, but that's a tough place to go and get a win. I think the true test is Philly, right? If you go into Philly and you beat them, which I think there's a decent chance you will, because Philly is not a fast team. They like to play half court, as I keep talking about with all these matchups. The Jazz should have good success against basically any team that wants to be a half court team instead of a transition team. So are they the best team in the league? I think that's really tough to say right now, 13 games in. Are they record-wise? Yeah, absolutely. But are you a team that can withstand, Steph Curry or Kevin Durant? Like, what does a matchup with the Nets look like? What does a matchup with the Warriors? You're obviously not going to stop Giannis. So that's why I say, like, I think it's on one hand, I'm like, yeah, you are, because you have this great record and you're kicking ass. On the other hand, I very much feel like you're just waiting to run into that, not a buzzsaw, but that team that just is outright better than you are right now. That team that can execute at a higher level, who's been there and done that. So that's why I say, like, I don't think that they're the best team right now. I think they're playing amazing basketball. And I think it's a little, like, it does them kind of a disservice to try to justify why they'd be the best team in the league right now with where the expectations started for this season. Like, you think about where we started this conversation a month ago now, and hello. You think about where the expectations were coming into the season. Like, this team was supposed to be a tanking team. This team was supposed to be a lottery team and the VW sweepstakes and like all this stuff. So
I think that was far more perception versus reality.
It could have been, but at the same time, like, those are the expectations. As we went over with BYU, perception is reality. It doesn't really matter what the actual case is. So that's why I say, yeah, they're one of the best teams right now. They're playing great basketball. But I also think that we shouldn't get, again, too far over our skis, if you will, and say that, our snowboards, like, we shouldn't do that. We should be able to sit here as Jazz fans and say, hey, yeah, this team's playing great basketball, and we just need to enjoy that.
All right, well, let's look at, do I say the word?
Uh-oh.
NBA Power Rankings.
Power!
Yeah, I don't know. Who's the best team in the NBA?
I mean, I think you have to go with Milwaukee, but...
Because of record, or...
Because of record, and I think Giannis. There's really no great defense for Giannis when he's on.
Okay, I would agree with you. I think there's no doubt. I don't even know that it's close. I don't think there's any question. The Milwaukee Bucks are the best team. But I wonder, here's a question, how good are the Cleveland Cavaliers? I don't think they're the second best team in the NBA. I don't.
Donnie, please.
I think Boston's better than Cleveland. Mm-hmm. I think Boston, because of the defense, is better than Cleveland. I mean, if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, yes, I think you've gotten off to a good start defensively. But my feeling is that Boston's a better defensive team than Cleveland. And that's because I think offensively they're very similar. I mean, obviously with Jalen and Jason, I mean, Boston's a handful.
And Marcus Smart.
Yeah, to a lesser extent offensively. I think defensively he's a bull.
Yeah.
And I think that team is very balanced. I am not at all a believer in Toronto, Atlanta, Chicago. I'm stunned at how mediocre the New York Knicks are. And it's when I look at the Jazz in the Eastern Conference, I think the Jazz are the fourth best team in the East. Honest to goodness, if they're in the Eastern Conference, they're not Milwaukee, they're not Cleveland, they're not Boston.
Uh-huh.
But I think they're better than Atlanta, Toronto, Chicago. I think they're better than the Knicks, Wizards. I still maintain we haven't seen the best of Philadelphia, not near it.
No.
That might take a coaching change because they're incredibly flawed.
Yeah.
I think that might take a coaching change. And then I don't know who's coming out of the smoke in Brooklyn.
I guess the tough part with the Jazz is right now, and when we do these kind of comparisons, like, hey, if the Jazz were in the East, like, where would they stack up? The tough part is like I see what they put out every night, right? Like I watched every ounce of that game last night in most of the games they play, and I see what they're putting out as far as performance and like what they're able to do on the floor. But I just wonder, hey, if Trae Young doesn't turn it over the way he turned it over, if you're playing Kevin Durant and a lot of those shots go in instead of misses, like I don't know, I just wonder what their top end is. Like everybody, like I want to know can this team reach like heights that just are ridiculous? Because right now that's kind of what they're doing. That's why they're the talk of the league, because they're doing things that are just almost in a sense outlandish. Like the fact that you're a 10-win team with this roster is insane. And I don't think it's all Will Hardy, but what I think it is people were like, oh, well, they traded everybody. There's no chance that they could be good. And that's the issue. And I think in the NBA, you don't see a lot of team basketball, which is why like Cleveland is having some success. Obviously, they lose last night, but I think they've gotten off to a pretty good start here. The Donovan thing with Darius Garland and Evan Mobley has worked so far. But when I look around both conferences, the entire league, there are not a lot of teams that play great team basketball. Like I look at the Warriors. That's why they have had such outstanding long-term success, because they do move the ball. There's always, running around, passing, like getting wide open looks. Like that's why they're able to have all this success. So my point in all of this is just that you look at some teams and you're like, yeah, Philly, they're just playing James Harden and let's just see what kind of look we can get.
Is Philly, would you still say that the Philadelphia 76ers are elite? Because I do.
I never said they're elite, though. We've always disagreed on this.
But how? Okay, so look at Philadelphia. But I look at Philly, and I don't know how you say.
You think you know it all.
You look at the build of this Sixers team. Explain to me how the Philadelphia 76ers are not elite.
Because they don't have chemistry. What they have is names, but they don't have that chemistry. Like obviously we know what Joel is, right? You know that guy is a complete savage.
Yeah, he's an MVP every year.
Like you know what he is, right? This is not a Joel conversation. My issue is, and where we've always disagreed on this team, is that you got a guy in Tyrese Maxey who is clearly developing.
He's a stud.
And clearly has best player in the league or top 5 player in the league.
22 years old, stud.
Like not even in his prime yet, and he's giving you these kind of numbers. My issue is James Harden. It always has been and always will be.
Well, he's not playing now because he's hurt.
Right, but my point is when we talk about if they're elite or like in the bigger picture, we're having a bigger picture conversation, right? Yep. Like even if he was playing, James Harden's never proven to be a winner. James Harden's never proven that hey, with Kevin Durant, you know that hey,
you mean like championship winner? Because in the regular season, James Harden has been, and I think this year he was getting back to it. What does he have? A foot injury, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
He was getting back to Houston James Harden. He's in elite shape. Obviously, the handle's
James
back.
Harden was Houston James Harden was one of the best players the league's seen in probably
ever.
Well,
call it what it is.
When James Harden was at
his best. And did he make threes in the playoffs? No, he didn't. They missed 27 straight.
Just as an outright player, though. Like
he is one of the best, I think, scoring players in the history of the NBA. And he was getting back to that before he injured his foot. So he wasn't there. Is he still that guy? No, probably not. But when he's healthy, when it's Joe, when it is Harden, and when it is Maxey, I think they are almost impossible to contend with in a 7-game series. And if you can add PJ Tucker to get the defense and the 1 of 4 from 3 in the corner, they're going to be good. And the other thing I look at is, let's not forget Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell's a guy that's got fouls to give every single night, and he doesn't mind giving them. He has, because I'm telling you, Doc Rivers is overrated as a coach.
Well, yeah,
and I think
we all agree on that.
I think he is a problem there. But anyway, not to belabor the Philly point, I still maintain that Tobias Harris is, $27 million.
What is it? It's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue.
My biggest thing with Philly, and I this is fixable. It's completely correctable. It's not some fatal flaw. My biggest thing with Philly is they settle into one-on-one basketball. That's the problem.
I don't disagree with that.
And that's what really hampers them and has for a couple of seasons.
Well, when you are Joel Embiid and you are a spectacular shot maker,
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of times those spectacular shots don't go in.
But like Joel on the block, I'm fine with, or Joel at the elbow, I'm fine with, or Joel like in a matchup, I'm fine with that. But James is the one I struggle with sometimes. Like some of the shots he takes, some the crossover stuff, like where he just wants to dribble a lot and play 1-on-1 and take contested three. I'm not okay with that. Like even when he dropped that guy and did the shoulder shimmy, before he got injured this year, that was an absolute brick.
He was averaging 22, 10 dimes, and 7 boards.
Yeah.
Like the guy was having a year. And now he's out for a considerable amount of time. But I mean, Doc Rivers said the other day he's in a walking boot.
Yeah.
But if you look at his numbers this year, the guy is shooting 33% from 3. That's not horrendous. That's actually really good. I think he's a guy that if he's going to average a double-double with points and assists, they're going to win. And I think it's simply that's a coaching problem. Yeah. This is why I'm so scared of Brooklyn. You want to talk about teams? Why am I scared of Brooklyn? Because I think Jacque Vaughn is their guy. The players wanted
but
Jacque
they have
Vaughn.
That feel, right? Like
they
where
do.
You've got the new car smell. Like there's a lot of positivity.
But the stylistically,
yeah,
they're different now.
Yeah.
They are, and it is because now everything goes through Kevin. And it's why you're seeing triple-doubles, assists, points, assists, rebounds.
Yeah.
Because the try-hard is there. Now, if they start losing games, maybe that goes away. But Seth Curry's got to stay healthy for them. Patty Mills cannot be your first guy off the bench and you expect to win at a high level.
Totally agree, man.
Just, those days are over, man. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think it is, when I look at where the Jazz fit in this whole thing, I think they're top 5 right now because I do think they're the best team in the Western Conference. I don't care what everybody else's potential is. Nobody is playing at the level that the Utah Jazz are right now.
Yeah, and I think it's disrespectful to say, well, like it's disrespectful in the big picture to paint with a broad brush that like, oh, well, Golden State has all these guys. It's just a matter of time. Like the trouble with that, and I don't actually disagree with that. Like I do think it is a matter of time for some of these teams, but the problem with that, the thing that they're going to fight is the uphill battle. So like if let's say the Jazz are a top 3 seed in the West, because I think they have that kind of potential right now. If they can continue doing this, you have that kind of potential.
Yep.
If you're a top 3 seed in the West and the Warriors are like a 5 seed, it's going to be really interesting to see who you run into. Like the 3-6 matchup is always an ass kicker, right? So like sometimes being a top seed isn't always advantageous when you go into the postseason. Sometimes it does pay dividends to only have
I agree.
45 wins, because then you can like to be that team that's not a play-in team, but just barely got into the top 6 isn't always a bad thing. And that's why I'm saying like, I think we just have to be mindful of not being like, oh, well, if this team doesn't win 50 games, they had a disappointing year based on what we see. No, if this team wins 45 games, that's a hell of a year. And I hope we don't get away from that as we, work into December and as we work into the new year.
Yep. R. Trippin says, hey, Montpellier. Okay. Many Jazz players are capable of 5 or more 3-pointers in a given night. You mean how many? Dude, that's a lot. Obviously, Laurie.
JC.
Jordan Clarkson.
Mike
Conley still, I would say. Sexton, Beasley. I don't know.
Olynyk can hit 5 for you, for sure.
In one game.
In a game, yeah, he can.
Okay, so that's 6. So if we go Olynyk, Markkanen, Conley, Clarkson, Sexton, and Beasley.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
I don't think Talon Horton Tucker shoots it consistently enough.
Yeah, he had it going last night, but I wouldn't say he's some prolific.
I love that he's throwing his body around.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that he's starting, and again, I hope that. So if this team continues, right, and I know I keep saying that, I don't mean to be repetitive, but again, it needs to be said. If this team continues on this trajectory, I hope at some point Fizdale gets in front of the media. I hope at some point they give him an opportunity to talk.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Wow.
I mean, I want Will Hardy talking, and I want David Fizdale developing. And again, if we're talking about the game last night as we talk Utah Jazz basketball presented by TryDayTrading.com, make sure you check them out. All I'm asking you to do is go to TryDayTrading.com/Monty and watch the free webinar. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation at the end of it. Just go watch the webinar at trydaytrading.com. Stop complaining about your job. Get off the hamster wheel of side hustles where you've tried Amazon and DoorDash and Uber Eats, and just get the job done. Have one career, work for yourself, make gobs of money. If I said to you every business day for the rest of 2022, you can make $300 and more.
Yeah.
Would you do it? You would absolutely do it. And that's what's happening. Absolutely, it's a bag alert. At trydaytrading.com, there are people today that will make $1,000 day trading today.
And it'll probably only take them a couple hours to do that.
Ask yourself right now, how much money are you making today? If it's not 500 to 1,000, you're in the wrong line of work, because Tri-Day Trading, it's sitting there. It costs you nothing to find out about it. Go to trydaytrading.com/Monty. I think when you look at what's right with this team and you look at how they won that game last night, they won that game as a team. They won that game not playing elite defense, because they did not last night, although in the fourth quarter when it counted, they were in the right space at the right time most of the time. They won that game because they moved the basketball. Mike Conley had that offense on a string.
Mm-hmm.
I think the facilitation by multiple players. I mean, Jordan Clarkson had several moments that you would like to have back, but he also made an extra pass 2-3 times. He's also penetrating and getting to the rim. You look at, obviously, Lauri Markkanen is a guy that if you're going to give him 6 of 8 from 3, you're not going to beat the Jazz.
Yeah.
Because he's also dropping a Euro step with a left-hand finish, which is ridiculous. That throw-up sloppy finish in the lane on a hook shot, ridiculous. He's playing really good basketball. He's playing all-star caliber basketball. And you look at what this team is getting off the bench, they're getting balanced scoring.
Yeah.
And you're not reliant on the 3-ball. You want to shoot 53s a game, but you're not relying on that to win anymore. And I think that's why this team is so good. They are really good defensively, and I think they are a team that can play multiple styles. They can run up and down, because there were times last night where this game was frenetic.
Yeah.
They were getting after it. It was a track meet, and then there were times where you had to run half-court sets, and they were absolutely able to do that. And one of the other things I thought was so interesting was when Atlanta went on their run in the third quarter, what did Colin Sexton do? Came in the game, got the ball, got fouled.
Yep.
Get to the line.
Well, and that's
get
coaching.
to the basket.
Like, that's coaching. That's where you have to say, Will Hardy was in his ear telling him, hey, they're going on their run, and that's fine, but we need to control this game by getting to the line. We need to control the flow and the momentum by getting to the line. And I'm telling you, like, it was clear as day that was an emphasis throughout this game. Like,
no doubt.
You look at what Lauri did in the first quarter. Dude, they had, what did he have? 15 points in the first quarter, and I think 12 of those were from the line or whatever it was. Like, he was abusing them physically, and I think that, that's what I feel like we didn't have last year, where it was like, hey, depending on who you're playing, we're going to start the game this way or that way, or this is their weakness, we need to do that.
Our Trippin says, does the League Pass allow you to watch games here in Utah? Yes, that's how I watch the Jazz. I do not, with all due respect, because I'm not trying to crush anybody, I don't watch the Jazz broadcast.
With all due respect.
Like last night, I'm watching Dominique Wilkins and Vince Carter do the
all
game
due respect.
for Atlanta, because I watch it on League Pass on DirecTV. So, yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can get that. Teddy Wayman, what's up, my guy? He says, watching the game last night, at no point thought we were going to lose, even when we were down 10 in the third. Can't say that about past Jazz teams. And it's that sequence with Walker Kessler last night where he gets blocked, he blocks a shot, he comes back and dunks. Like, that want to, and the word that I'll use again is facilitating. You have a coach that's facilitating growth in his players because he's not overexposing Walker Kessler. He's playing him in certain matchups. There are nights where Walker doesn't play. There are nights where he plays 5 minutes. There are nights where he plays 18 minutes because he fits into the flow of games, right? There are nights where Beasley's going to play more and play less. Talon Horton-Tucker doesn't fit into every game because what was the story last night? It was guys doing their unique job, using their skill set.
Facts.
Walker Kessler blocking shots. Talon Horton-Tucker blocking shots and throwing the air around, banging into guys. Mike Conley facilitating. Left-handed player finishing with the right-handed teardrop. Like, all of these guys now are playing free basketball. That's why I think when you look at Mike Conley, he looks like a guy that's having a good time. He looks like a guy that's having fun playing basketball again. And it didn't look like that the last 2 years. And I think it's because they're not load managing Mike anymore. They're controlling his minutes because he's an older player now, and nobody's afraid to say that out loud.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, you have JC, you have Malik Beasley, you have other guys that you can put the ball in their hands. THT, who can bring the ball up. You have guys who can bring the ball up. Lauri Markkanen can take the offensive load for a quarter at a time. So you're not relying on Mike Conley. Now, if he gets hurt, this is going to be a very different dynamic.
Yeah.
But you're not relying on Mike Conley to be the guy every single night.
Well, and I think this minutes thing you're talking about is why he won't get hurt. I mean, it's consistency is the word now. Like, if the Jazz can consistently keep their belief, if the Jazz can consistently manage minutes correctly based on the matchup and who they have, if the Jazz can correctly diagnose like why a guy is struggling and get him back going again, like that consistency in all those areas is what will lead to success.
But is Colin Sexton happy about playing 13 minutes last night and only scoring 3 points and being a -10?
Well, no.
But is he
not.
complaining about that? He's not. He's a guy that understands that every night's going to be a different story written. And I think that that's what's so beautiful about his acceptance of a backup role. That's what's so beautiful about the fact that you look at the guard depth off of this bench, and it's THT, it's Beasley, it's Sexton. But hey, if I want to rotate those guys, I can do that, and I can play any of them on the court at the same time with JC or with Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Look at Kelly Olynyk. He's a really good example of this. Kelly Olynyk's not a 30-minute player until he is, until they need him to be. Until, a guy like a Vando gets hurt. Jared Vanderbilt gets hurt. He's not playing for 2 nights. Olynyk's taking more of the load, right? Last night, you don't need Olynyk but 20 minutes because Walker Kessler was productive and in the flow of the game.
Yeah.
So you have a guy like Will Hardy, and I think one of the wins for Will Hardy has been that he has absolutely figured out what their guys are and what their roles are. And he has not wavered from that. And he has facilitated the highest, best use of his top 10 guys. And with all due respect, if Nickeil Alexander-Walker doesn't play, nobody's going to complain about that. If, Azubuike doesn't play, who's even going to recognize that?
All due respect.
Like if Rudy Gay goes 3 games without getting a minute, who's going to recognize that?
That's right, T.
But then he's going to go 5 games and have a game like last night where Rudy Gay plays 18 minutes. Because that's what the team requires. And I think at times last year when there was a wholesale lack of accountability, guys would bitch and moan when they didn't get their minutes. And you can't do that. Rudy Gobert didn't want to sit on the bench. He would bitch and moan about that. Well, guess what? Did anybody see Minnesota again last night? Rudy Gobert back in the lineup after he fondled a bunch more microphones. Okay, I'm a jerk. I shouldn't have said that. Rudy Gobert last night. Let me give you Karl Anthony Towns numbers, and then ask yourself how Rudy Gobert did. Cat played 28 minutes.
Okay.
He gave you 8 boards, 4 dimes, a block shot, and 11 points. Did Rudy Gobert have a good night or a bad night? In the box score. Rudy Gobert had a huge night. Rudy Gobert had 25 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks, 8 of 11 from the floor, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. Only problem was they got blown out by the Suns, 129-117. How many times did we write that game story last year where Rudy would have a huge game, but why did Rudy have a huge game? Well, because you shot 9 of 27 from 3.
Ouch.
Ouch. His biggest games come when you struggle because he's an elite rebounder.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle. Did anybody see that Minnesota played with 4 guys for 2 possessions because they had a mistake? And you had a guy in D'Angelo Russell who didn't get to the scorer's table in time, so he couldn't check in. But the other issue in that situation was Taurean Prince had checked out already. So they played with 4 guys. It's ridiculous. Again, if you're Minnesota, you're just not going to be good. Anyway, less of us, more of you here, 7:30, talking about the biggest stories in sports, brought to you by our good friends at Quick Quack Car Wash. Make sure you get your wash pass at Quick Quack because they're the best car wash in the business. If you didn't already know that, make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Every morning, Quick Quack Car Wash brings you the biggest stories in sports. It absolutely is the Utah Jazz. There's no doubt about that. Let's get some of your comments in here. Jake Dane, good morning to you. Hey, can we take a second and just vent about how stupid it is that unless I get locked into a TV contract or do some sketchy VPN BS, I can't just simply watch a Jazz game. I'm so over it.
Well, I like the DirecTV thing, I'm telling you, is the way to go. Like, I don't have a year-long contract. I don't.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. I don't disagree with you. But Ryan Smith is addressing that. I mean, and if you take them at their word at the Jazz, and I do, they're paying for the sins of their past ownership.
Yeah.
And they're in a long-term deal with the RSN that is terrible. And you're laying in somebody else's bed right now. Next year, they swear they're going to have stream options available, and they're going to have
all part of the plan.
A much better TV deal. Brett Stubbs, how the heck are you? Nah, home court advantage is always good in the playoffs. I agree with that. Jose Luis BG.
Right.
What's up? Good to see you, bud. People don't get what the Jazz are doing. They are rushing to those 30 wins everybody says they'll get so they can call it a season and get to Cancun early.
Boy.
Well, if that's, if I'd have known that.
I don't know how we didn't diagnose that, Like, come on.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. Tanner says, right, Jose? They can go hang out with Cancun Cruise once they get to 30 wins. Cancun Cruise.
By the way, good to see you, Tanner. Good to see you in the comments. Appreciate you.
Yeah, good to see you, Tanner. By the way, we should probably talk about the fact that Tanner doesn't want that drop played in reference to him anymore.
Yeah, can't play it. Sorry.
Which is very disappointing.
Yeah. It's still around and you'll hear it.
I mean, we can play the drop.
Yeah, but it's not going to be in reference to...
he will no longer allow us to play this drop.
Oh my God, just like that. Oh.
In reference to that person.
So he's been, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
Jeremy Bolton says, Jake Dane, this is 1,000%. It's so stupid. The only game I've been able to watch was the one I went to. It sucks butt. Jeremy Bolton says.
That's right, T.
Don't disagree with you. Brett Burnett says, Jazz winning on the court because they pulled a fast one off season and during the season. Ainge is smiling. He is, absolutely.
He is, yep.
Coach Levern says, Jazz have an 87% chance to make the postseason now and a 4% chance of reaching the finals. New win-loss projection has them at 49 wins according to 538.
Yeah, it's ongoing.
It is. But again, I've said this and people get upset when I say it. You're 13 games into the season. Okay, listen. They're good. That's absolutely. But they're going to go through a downturn. There's not a chance in the world this team wins.
Pause, bro. Pause.
Wins 49 games. I would put that at 10%.
I think they can crack 40 though.
Oh, I think they can win 40 to 45. 47, 48, 49 would be the stuff of legends.
Got to be Philly and Philly.
He would be, you can lose one game per trip.
Yeah.
At that rate. My HOA provides the Jazz. Unheard of.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
Our Trippin says Jacque Vaughn has the fourth worst coaching record in NBA history, but he was also
had a cup of coffee, bro.
Are you kidding me with the Orlando Magic, dude?
Come on, guy.
Come on now. Tanner Plummer.
Right.
The less Ainge Smith and Fizdale talk to the media, the better. It wasn't great the last couple of times. Well, now you're winning, though. Michael Burton, good morning, friend. He says, I think the Jazz might be the second best team behind the Bucks. Are the Jazz better than Cleveland?
I think that's really, really close, dude. I don't know that that's as clean cut as it looks. Like, I think that's close.
So Donnie's going to score 30, and your job is going to have to be to limit everybody else. Mobley's going to be the tough guy, but I would imagine that's a Vando matchup.
Vando or Markkanen. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I look at Cleveland.
I
probably, again, I have no life, but I think that Markkanen, Olynyk, and Jared Allen would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think Markkanen and Mobley would be pretty even.
Yeah.
Garland.
The Darius Garland matchup's the problem.
Well, and who are you going to have guard Don?
Probably Mike.
Don would eat him up.
Well, who else are you going to put on him? Beasley?
I think Jordan Clarkson.
Okay, Clarkson.
I think Clarkson guards Don. And I think Garland and Mike Conley go head-to-head. But this is also the problem because they play Karis LeVert. So can you have Vando on Karis LeVert? That's an issue.
Yeah.
That's an issue. I think Colin Sexton would have to have a very good series to beat them.
Yeah.
Probably. Because you're gonna rack fouls on that team.
Yep.
Right? It's gonna be a very high scoring affair. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Into that.
I think that's something I will look forward to.
100%.
I will absolutely look forward to talking about that. But I think I would go Milwaukee, Cleveland, and right now today I'd put the Jazz third. That's me.
Okay.
Brett Stubbs, what's up? I live in Texas right now, so I get every game on League Pass. It's my favorite thing about living outside of Utah, but being a Jazz diehard fan. Yeah. Next year, I have to believe this all changes. Michael Burton says Jazz are playing amazing team basketball, which is flowing and enjoyable to watch. I agree.
It is.
I agree. Main event says take note. Okay. We have.
Yeah.
We'll see. Ruff's official says Vaughn is going to be as successful as Darvin Ham. Well, I think Darvin Ham has been handed a crap sandwich. I mean, I don't know. I think Darvin Ham's going to be a good coach.
You're casual.
What's up, Teddy? Read that one already. Brett Burnett, Bucks have a weakness like the Jazz in the past. Easy to beat when it counts.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd say easy.
The thing that's amazing about the Bucks is that Giannis has gotten better every year.
Yeah.
I mean, his fadeaway game, his shot on the hole is unlikely to have achieved what it's achieved. And now he shoots free throws better. He also is amazing on the low block. His three-point shot is still awkward at times.
Right.
But he's an incredible player. You gotta put a body on him. You cannot allow him to run the floor.
Yeah.
You can't. Brett Stubbs says Kessler was key to that comeback. I would agree. Tanner says Kessler was impressive. I agree with that. Tanner making a point, but the Jazz can foul when you have a deep bench. I would agree with that. I would totally agree with that. Danny is just money balling the league, Severe says. I would agree with that. Cheadle Bags says, I'll be in the second row at Indiana February 13th. Get the Monty merch ready by then. Okay, absolutely. Here's what I promise you. In December, we will have new shirts printed. And let's talk about merch real quick. Does anybody have a desire for a beanie? Because kid over here is like, dude, I want a beanie. We got to do beanies. Can I get a beanie? Can I get a beanie for my balls and my head?
I want it.
Am I wrong?
No. No.
Is it T-shirts? Is it, what is it you guys want? Well, I mean, we'll do that. The Jazz accidentally put together the right blend of talent, tenure, and tenacity. This team blends so well under Hardy's system. I would agree, Shep. Absolutely right. I think they blend really well. Daniel Westover, how are you? I'm getting tired of national media calling for Ainge to stop the Jazz from winning. It is a little tired.
Yeah.
Because I think he has said repeatedly, and I think we started talking about this after the Don trade, they're not tanking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why we've been on the not tanking thing for so long. I mean, it's been clear as day that they're not going to do that.
But every ESPN, ABC, TNT the other night had a long conversation about it.
Yeah, because it's easy. It's lazy content. Like, it's easy to be like, oh, well, yeah, they should not win, and let's talk about the draft, and let's talk about VW, even though there's no way on God's green earth that they're going to get in through the ping pong ball system. Like, you're not doing that. Like, that's just not what it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it is it's
lazy.
Played. It's played.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It's played. It drives me crazy. It also drives me crazy when you don't go to Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. From Logan, Layton, Lehigh, St. George, and of course our good friends in Salt Lake City, Murray, or anywhere you are in the world listening to the show, get to barbecuepitstop.com. Chat with them online. You can order online. They'll ship right to you. But if you're in Utah, go to one of their 5 stores because they are spectacular. You remember as a kid, you used to go to Ace Hardware or True Value, or even, idiots like you would go to Home Depot and call it the hardware store. But anyway, remember how amazed you were walking through? I was a wrenches guy. I used to love, if you gave me a bucket of bolts, some nuts, and some wrenches, I was good for a week.
Yeah, big fan of the nuts, huh?
Love me some nuts, right?
Right.
Anyway, the point is,
right,
that's what it's like at Barbecue Pit Stop. When you walk into Barbecue Pit Stop, it's like walking into a toy store as a man. You're touching all the equipment. You're looking at the Traeger Ironwood 885, the Timberline series. You're like, damn, look at that Yoder. That thing is sexy, Mom. right? Like you're doing that. You're playing with the big green egg, which you can do at home as well. But you're also looking at that entire wall of just rubs, spices, sauces. Wow, look at those bags of wing dust. Mm-hmm. They've got it all at Barbecue Pit Stop. By the way, it doesn't even matter what they sell because you're not paying for the merch. I mean, you are, but you're actually paying for their expertise because they'll tell you how to make a great brisket. They'll tell you how to do brats. They'll tell you why you want competition blend pellets instead of cherry or oak or pecan. Like, you name it, they know it at Barbecue Pit Stop. Hook it up online, bbqpitstop.com. And again, I tell you the best seasoning for every kind of meat is asado seasoning. We have put that on beef. We have put that on wings. We have put that on chicken.
My word.
It's amazing. Asado, A-S-A-D-O, asado seasoning. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show at barbecuepitstop.com. Jeff Johnson says, give Monty a set of nuts and bolts and he'll be good for a week, guys. You know what I'm saying? Don Rayner says shipping time to Finland is a bit rough, but that doesn't mean they can't do it.
Yeah, they can do it.
You know what I'm saying? Caleb Harrison says right-off season interviews showed Zanuck and Ryan clearly saying they were excited for this upcoming season while mainstream media said the coach and players have a different plan than the front office. Yeah, and I just totally disagree with that.
Yep.
Totally disagree with that. Cody says VW is a trap draft. He'll get hurt and not play.
Agreed.
To which the Nye guy says, amen, Cody.
Agreed.
You know.
Agreed.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
The Nye guy says, a beanie for my ball bag. Shut up and take my money.
A ball bag.
They call that a hacky sack.
Yeah.
You know. Carlo Reyes says, Kyrie to Westbrook. I would trade Kyrie Irving for Russell Westbrook right now.
Look here, man.
What Russ has done for the Lakers this year, coming off the bench as a sixth man, not starting him even with LeBron out, although that may change, but they said the plan is not to start him.
Right.
He's been great off the bench. If I am the LA Lakers, tell me that you are not trying to trade for Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
You would do that.
Yep.
You would do that. And if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, tell me you don't have interest in Russ coming off your bench, dropping 20 plus
trying
points.
to control their little worlds.
But how often does the right trade get made?
Rarely.
Very rarely. This is the right trade. It was the right trade in the summer. It was the right trade in training camp. It's the right trade after the anti-Semitism.
Correctamundo.
Trade Kyrie for Russ, and let's move on with our lives.
Yep.
That's what should happen. That means it probably won't happen. You know, it won't. R. Trippin says that 538 projection is based off individual players, not team success, if that makes sense. I think it's more accurate. Yeah, it is. So, but here's the thing. Here's why I don't like win projections. Because it doesn't account for injury and the normal flow. When you're talking about win projections, and our trip, and I actually know exactly what you're talking about, and I think it's probably the right way to do it. When you take individual players and you group them, it tells you what they're capable of. I totally agree. But injuries are such a big part of the game, especially with guys, when you have older guys like LeBron or Mike Conley or James Harden, you're seeing that now. So with the Jazz, I think you have to look at the fact that Vando's missed a couple of games with some aches and pains, not injury. So I would guess he's going to miss a couple more.
Yeah.
But you look at some of the guys on this roster, Colin Sexton's going to have to manage his knee at some point. Mike's going to miss games. I think we all know that. You have to account for that. I just think 49 wins, man. That would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
That would be unthinkable.
Yeah.
Unthinkable. Boyd Lake says, straight mustard and salt and pepper rub for brisket, the Central Texas way. Hey, man, salt and pepper is one of the most underutilized, underrated seasoning combos in the world. So many people.
B12.
And listen, I'm an asado guy, so I'm probably being a hypocrite here, but so many people are like, I can't just do salt and pepper. I need to get that twisty McRiffer stuff.
I want you to listen to me.
The witch doctor in Istanbul made it. So it's got to be good, right? Like, or everybody's like, oh, there's no such thing as too hot.
You're casual.
Bring the heat, mama.
Bring the heat.
I'm trying not to curse as much. Jeremy Sevier says lots of teams besides the Jazz this year that people thought were going to be bad actually doing really well. Examples, the Pacers. Oh, how about OKC?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I don't know if I'd say, are the Kings doing well?
By King standards, yeah.
I mean, you are out of the playoffs at 4-6. I think the Portland Trailblazers are one of those teams, certainly. I think I'm a little surprised that the Spurs are in the 9th spot. I'm a little surprised by that. I'm also surprised to see that Golden State is out of the playoffs. You know, like, and you want to talk about by their standards.
Yeah.
OKC's 4-7, and they've beaten a lot of good teams. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to see Golden State's going to come back, like, obviously.
I mean, I don't know what you say about. I'm surprised that Orlando still has only 3 wins because I thought they would win more games.
Paolo's been good, though.
He's been excellent.
Yeah, Paolo's been very good.
He's been excellent. I'm telling you, the East is just deadly.
Yeah.
I wish the Bulls were good.
Yeah. I wish I had $1 million, you know?
As a Bulls fan, man, I wish I had a team like the Jazz.
Yeah.
I mean, I truly do. Utah should win 55 to 60 games at this pace and play for an NBA championship.
Okay, chill out. Chill out.
Okay, you got to open the garage door before you start the car. You open the garage door.
Yeah.
The fumes are getting to you. Ryan Brown says, I love the lineup of Conley, Clarkson, Beasley, Laurie, and Vanderbilt.
Yep, good lineup. Good lineup.
Yeah, I
problems.
I think everybody's a starter. Your top 8 guys are all guys you could start. I mean, if you think about Beasley and Colin Sexton, you could start them.
Yep.
I want more from Walker Kessler. I want to see more minutes. I want to see him. Can he? Here's a question I guess I would ask.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's pertinent or not. Can he start at the power forward in the NBA? Do you want that?
I don't. I want him to be a 5 because at the 5, his athleticism allows him to beat guys, to beat other 5s. You know, at the 4, you get the hybrid 3-4 guy that can give him some problems, and and Vando's that hybrid 3-4 guy for you.
I don't disagree with that. I'm curious though what his upside is, because I don't know that he projects to be all NBA. I don't think he projects
he's gotta show
to
that
be.
He can shoot it to get to that.
I think he projects to be a really solid 20 to 25 minute a night bench guy at this point. Until he shows you he can really stroke it well. And by that I mean shoot it. Stop it. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself.
Why do you say things like that?
You're embarrassing yourself
You
now.
know what people are going to say.
Until Walker Kessler shows that he can consistently shoot at the NBA level.
Oh my God, just like that. Oh.
I deserve that. But I wonder what he projects to. I wonder, Tyler 2K says stroke it. See, stop it.
Oh my God, just like that.
Stop it. 8 teams in the West. Who's in and who's out? Ooh. All right, here we go. 8 teams in the West. Jazz, Suns, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Mavericks are all in. Right? Those are 5.
Clippers are in.
Clippers are in for 6. Man, I got to think the Pelicans.
Warriors.
Pelicans.
No.
It's only 8 teams.
I know. Warriors. They will be in. I'm telling you. They're not missing the postseason.
I mean, right now to be top 8, you got to have 6 wins, and they're at 4. So you're talking about a game and a half.
Yeah, it's not that much.
I can't believe Portland's going to play 700 basketball all year.
No.
They're not. Dame's going to get hurt. So they're going to fall. I think New Orleans and Golden State. So the Jazz, Suns, in no particular order. Jazz, Suns, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Mavericks. Clippers, Pels, Warriors. There's your top 8. I think that's your top 8.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota is so flawed now. They're so flawed.
Well, and it's just awkward. Like, D'Lo's not playing well. Edwards isn't playing well.
D'Lo is playing horrendously.
Yeah.
So I think that's your top 8 out west. Let me update that poll question we posted today. 397 votes. Are the Utah Jazz the best team in the NBA? 60-40. Yes.
Well,
on 397 votes, 60% of the people in this show think that they are. We've had 2,500 people watch this show today, and 60% of you who voted.
Damn,
that's a lot. That's a
lot.
pretty strong number, man.
Yeah,
that's a pretty strong number. By the way, if you're one of the 270 people here right now. Please give us a thumbs up. We always try to get to 100.
We need 20 more, man. Let's go.
Come on, 20 people click that like
We're
button.
asking for 2 seconds of your life here.
Let's get this done. By the way, football at 50 coming up in 60 seconds. I think those are the 8.
Right.
Those are the 8. Joseph Call says the Jazz get into a 3-point shooting match with Golden State. They don't win that. They don't.
Agreed.
They don't. Tanner Plummer says, no, I asked you to stop playing that drop at all if that's possible.
No, it's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
I mean, we like I said, we won't play it in reference to you, but you know.
Yeah.
We will not. Okay. So here's my guy, and he wants his name pronounced correctly.
Okay.
It's Louis Campasso.
Okay.
As in Louis Vuitton.
Okay, so Louis.
Not Luis Campazzo.
Okay.
Louis Campazzo. Is that correct, Louis? I hope I'm saying that correct.
Yeah.
Riley O'Brien says, thumbs up, y'all. Appreciate that.
Let's go.
Golden State, Tyler 2K says, we'll be chased out the three-point line. Our perimeter defense is too elite. It is very good.
Yeah.
It is very good. It is very good. I agree with that. No, the Nye guy, that's exactly right. The Jazz are like an island of misfit toys.
Pretty much.
I don't disagree with that at all. As is the National Football League. Football 50, 10 to the hour, every hour. Okay, come on, man. Come on, man.
We've come around.
Yeah. Football 50, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25.
Tell me you don't like the music. Come on.
Monty25 gets you 25% off your purchase at $25 or more at the best pizza joint in the business. Papa Murphy's Pizza. So we had a copyright issue with our NFL music.
Yeah.
So we can't play it anymore. So this is a new beat. And all I'm asking you to do right now, you 255 scrubs, vibe with me a little bit. Everybody, let's go. At least put the hands up, man. Okay, you're driving, bob the head.
Yeah. And by the way, while you're vibing, hit the like button. Do it now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Vibe with me, man.
Yes.
If you're not in the car, hands up. Tanner, I know you're on the train.
Yeah.
You're on the front runner. Let's go. Tanner, get those hands up. Get those hands up, yo. All right. In the NFL, we got to get to this Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson thing. Because these two hate each other now, and I understand it. You lost, and losing does bad things to people. But let's be 100 about this. Who was more responsible for the Seattle Seahawks winning their Super Bowl and being a really good team for all those years? Pete Carroll, the bazooka chewing MFer, or was it Go Hawks? We used to play that drop. We don't anymore because Tanner said we can't.
Right.
Russell Wilson or Pete Carroll? Well, my answer is pretty simple. The Legion of Boom. Defense wins championships in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I will continue to say what I've always said about Russ, and I know people always laugh at me. And Russell Wilson's not an elite quarterback. He's not one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. He is not the guy that carries teams to championships. Now he's gotten exposed as a fraud because he left the comfortable confines. And I'm telling you, he's no different than Aaron Rodgers. Because I think Aaron Rodgers is a guy much the same. Aaron Rodgers wants to blame all his teammates. Well, the problem with that is they're not the ones who made 4, 5, 6, 7 awful passes over the weekend and got beat by Detroit. That was you, A-Rod.
Yep.
That was you. You're not an elite quarterback. You're not an all-time great quarterback. You're not Tom Brady. You're not Peyton Manning. You're not John Elway with his horse face. You're not. You're not that guy, pal. And you're not Justin Fields. Okay, yeah. I'm kidding. Now I went too far. But my point is you're not Zach Wilson's mom either.
Right.
You're just not that guy.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson's not that guy either. And I'm kind of tired of the Russell Wilson hype.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, the defense obviously helped him a lot, and he also made a ton of throws as a Seahawk. I just think that, like when you have a great defense, you get more opportunities. And if he had won that Super Bowl against the Patriots, maybe we're having a different conversation, but he didn't. So there you go.
Giggity asked a really good question. As usual, that's my dude. Is Pete saying if Russ was wearing a wristband, they would have given Marshawn the ball on the goal line? It's not a bad point. The argument here is that for multiple times now, Pete Carroll's gone on his ESPN 710 Seattle show, and he's taken shots without naming Russell Wilson. This time it was, well, in the past, there was hesitation for the quarterback to wear a wristband. Now all of a sudden, with the plays on it, the play chart, now all of a sudden, GS7, Geno Smith, who's still not a great quarterback.
Yeah.
is wearing a wristband, and all of a sudden that's why you handed the ball to oh, wait, no, you didn't. You threw it. It got picked off, and you still suck, Pete.
Right.
And I don't mind saying it. I don't hate people in real life. In sports, I hate many people.
Yeah.
And Pete Carroll's one of them.
Yep.
I'm not a Pete Carroll guy.
Yep.
I hated Pete Carroll in Seattle.
And they're just average. That's just what they are. It's fine.
I hated Pete Carroll at USC.
Listen, I miss the heyday of Niners-Seahawks rivalry.
I hated Pete Carroll at the Jets.
Yeah.
I hated Pete Carroll with New England. And I hate Pete Carroll now.
Did you already say SC?
Yes. I hate USC.
Yeah.
With every fiber of my rectum, I hate USC. Okay. Rodgers, wait, what? Will Vandenberg says Rodgers is better, though, skill-wise. His problem is leadership. Oh, yeah. Aaron Rodgers has everything you need. And this is the argument with Aaron Rodgers, right? A-Rod is incredibly talented, but it's the ayahuasca BS. It's the I'm immunized.
Yep.
It's all of that BS. Instead of just keeping it 100 and being real, I'm immunized. Oh, those idiots in the media are the same idiots now who are pointing out that you've always been just a quarterback.
Just a guy.
Who throws interceptions and then blames everybody else.
Tom Brady beat you with Scotty Miller in the NFC Championship game, bro.
How many times are we going to watch Aaron Rodgers throw an interception, get pissed, go to the sideline, throw his helmet, put a hat on, and then get upset about what's on the iPad? Right? The difference with Tom Brady doing that exact same thing is Tom's got hands full of rings. You've got a ring. You're not elite.
Yeah.
You're not special. You're not unique.
Yeah.
You're not one of the best quarterbacks ever or of your generation. Drew Brees is a better quarterback than you, bro. He is. Whether you like it or not. I could argue if Aaron Rodgers didn't have a championship, he does. If Cheesehead didn't have a championship, he would be out of the league already.
Yep.
He would be. And then he has the nerve to say that Fathead McCarthy, I missed him. I appreciate my time.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, smoking the ayahuasca that's a tea that you actually drink. When we were smoking ayahuasca together, Fathead was actually a nice guy. And I even told Joe Rogan that aliens are real and Mike McCarthy's got a fat head. Like, he goes out the other day and he's like, I appreciate Mike McCarthy.
I appreciate you, man.
Fuck off. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
It's the same guy who wanted you fired. Like, come on.
Okay, by the way, we got to play the would you game.
Right, yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
No.
Okay, so this is one of the single greatest. The single greatest. And now I got to get the banner off the screen. The single greatest things we've ever seen is NFL memes on Instagram made NFL quarterbacks look like women and simply asked the question, how many beers would it take? There's not enough beer for Kirk Cousins because that's just Kurt in a Halloween costume.
I'm good.
Speaking of Sharon, I'm good.
Oh, you mean Flo from Progressive?
Yeah, no. I'm good. Oh, you mean Patricia Mahomes? Nah, I'm good.
Nah.
You mean verticality?
Wait, I don't see anybody. What?
Kylie Murray, yeah. Check the bottom of the screen. She's short.
Okay.
But you want to drop a Jenny Garoppolo on me?
Yes, sir.
You want to drop a Jenny Garoppolo on me? You want to drop a Tanya Brady? Is this a yes or a no?
Nah, that's a no. She got them crazy
That's
eyes.
a no.
She got them crazy eyes.
But he has crazy eyes. He mouth kisses his children.
Yeah, but it looks different. He's also got like a gazillion rings. Come on. It's a pass.
And then probably the best one. What about Zachy Poo?
Yeah.
What about, as the audience pointed out, Lisa Wilson?
Yeah.
What
that's definitely a green. That's a go.
I think that's a green light right there.
Green light, dude.
So you're saying this is a yellow light?
That's a yellow. I'm not sold on that.
This is a red light
No. The light's not even on. That's a hell no.
That's a red light. This is a green light all day.
That's like damn.
This is 55 in a school zone right here, my friends. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's 55 in a school zone, which is how fast you should not drive to get your Papa Murphy's on.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, carefully knead dough. Step 2, artfully spread sauce. Step 3, add fresh mozzarella and assemble toppings. Step 4, realize we already did all that for you. So all you have to do is bake it. For a limited time only, get the Hog Heaven Pizza with Canadian bacon, ground sausage, and crispy bacon. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your order at $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Man, I cannot wait. For Sunday, we're going to have our Papa Murphy's Pizza. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Austin Napierski gives us a $5 tip. What's up, Austin? Appreciate you, buddy. He says, love y'all. Love you too, man. Tara Brady is a yes, according to Tanner Plummer.
Damn.
Boyd Lake says Brady and Garoppolo are good. Okay, we got to settle the Tom
I'm telling
Brady.
you, the Garoppolo thing, it's not even close. She is by far the breadwinner here.
Jenny
by
Garoppolo.
Far. Smoke show.
But you're not in on the Tanya,
okay.
Tara Brady.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Hey man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Winner,
Let's
chicken
go.
dinner.
Let's go.
Even my wife last night, we were looking at this when we were laying in bed, and my wife was like, "No." My wife's got Mrs. Monty has COVID.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, she
Come on.
tested positive for the cocoa.
Bro.
It's brutal.
Was she upset?
The coronavirus.
So I don't know. I probably shouldn't.
It vexes me.
This is probably HIPAA.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got the cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did COVID tests last night because, Jake and I were under the weather. I feel a lot better today.
Yeah.
I slept amazing last night. Right until 3. I woke up at 3:30 and had to pee. Like midnight, like late night pee guy came and visited me at 3:30.
Yeah.
When I get up at 4.
It's not ideal.
So, and that was one of those furious sessions in the bathroom.
Yeah.
When you have to tinkle.
Yes.
And you go into the bathroom.
Yes.
You cannot get the seat up fast enough.
Oh, no.
And then you are just going.
You pull the ripcord, bro. Like, get in there.
Like, you are worried about peeing through the toilet bowl. It was one of those ones where I was like,
HIPAA?
good God. And then I go back to bed like 3 minutes later. I woke up at 3:51. And I was like, good Lord, man. I don't know what it is about waking up at 3:51. But anyway, here nor there. Mrs. Monty has the cocoa. And she's fine. She's had it probably for a week. I think we picked it up when we went to Boise. Dastardly Boise, which I love. But Mrs. Monty has asthma. She battles asthma.
Mm-hmm.
And so anytime she gets the flu or even a cold, it goes into her lungs.
Right.
So she's just spent 2 days just like coughing and hacking.
Mm.
And so
They have
she
the sniffles.
on today's Thursday. Tuesday, she felt way better. She's like, yeah, I'm over it. It's gone.
Right.
Yesterday, she was coughing and hacking again, didn't feel good. Last night, we took COVID tests, and she was not upset she tested positive.
Mm-hmm.
She was more upset that I tested negative. I do not have COVID. It's crazy.
This case is empty.
And I don't know. Knock on wood. Thank you
Knock
to the
on
universe.
Formica.
Thank you to the universe.
Yeah.
But I just have a really good immune system. And generally, when I get sick, I'm sick for like 24 hours and then it's done.
Those are numbers of death.
But I just feel terrible that she's got the
Yeah, it's
cocoa.
brutal, bro.
Yeah,
It's
it
brutal,
is
dude.
not. It is not ideal. It is not ideal at all. Louis Campasso says, hope she gets to feeling better. And she's doing okay. She's doing okay. Tanner says, Mrs. M has the cocoa. Dang, that sucks. It does.
Yeah.
Let's go. Teddy Wayman says, hell yeah, Papa Murphy's on football Sunday. Absolutely.
The answer is yes.
The Nye guy says, I do things to Jenny that I wouldn't do to barn animals. Well, her
Barn animals.
But Jenny is that name.
Dude.
Right? Jenny, Rachel. Like, there are names out there.
Lisa.
Is Lisa that name?
Yeah. Yeah.
There are names out there that are just like, hell yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
There are names. Jenny is one of those names.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence, yes.
Yeah.
But there are names out there where you're like, oh yeah, I'm in. Let's do this. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy the way that works, but it's true. Greg Hawkins, what's up? My lawyer friend. Jeremy Bolton says, I'm surprised the cocoa was the only thing you picked up from Boise. Seriously. Didn't get any ticks this time, though.
I'm not sure what that's a reference to.
I'm not either. Teddy says, what's up, Greg? K. Nern says Zach.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cuteness factor's there, right? Kind of cute, one beer. I think that's pretty spot on.
But doesn't that look like that face should be named Sharon? That face screams Sharon. You know how you look at people and you're like, okay, that's Sharon.
Yeah, just like I looked at the
Look at these nuts. But if you look at that face, that looks like somebody named Sharon to me. Am I wrong?
That's got some Emily vibes to it.
Oh, it does have some Emily vibes.
Yeah.
But she's got, she has to wax her lip, right? I mean, that's just
She has to wax her lip?
That happens.
What?
That happens, man. I'm not wrong. San Diego State says, I'm speechless, guys. Watching you play Mark Zuckerberg and his buddies at Harvard comparing girls in their dorm on a computer, the earliest days of Facebook. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. I'm swiping left.
Yep.
Kurt Meyer says, Liza Jane. Little Liza. Okay. That you don't know what that's a reference to, but yes. Fat Jesus says, did you tell Mrs. Monty the best thing for COVID
Bro,
is...
you did not just say that.
Can't say that.
You can't say that, bro. Come on.
Although
now.
the human elixir, there's nothing like it.
Come on.
Carlin LaFavor says, Zara Wilson looks like every girl...
Zara.
Wilson looks like every girl at BYU.
Oh, how do you get Zara out of that?
I'm dumb.
Gonzaga.
I don't... Couldn't resist. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Zara,
maybe.
dude, come on.
Could be.
Come on.
Could be. Tanner says, I'm passing on Zara Wilson. Keep her away from the dads, though.
Wow.
See, Jesse Harsh says, Carlin, you ain't wrong, though.
Bro.
Okay, which school campus? Guys. I just have a question. Guys. Just a real quick question.
Hey, guys.
Buddy. What campus has the most Zaras on it?
Let's settle this right now.
Is it BYU Provo or BYU Idaho?
And if I wear my Letterman, can I get more?
Well, but at BYU Idaho, no, I'm not doing it. Let's see. Megan is one of those names. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Megan is one of those names. There must have been 6 of them in my dorm way back at San Diego State. Long live Zapotec Hall. Okay. Tanner says, as a former BYU student, yes, Zara looks like every girl at BYU. Is this really what every girl... So if that's
perfectly white teeth, right?
If that's every girl at BYU, which one of the quarterbacks is every girl at Utah?
Oh, Garoppolo.
So this is every girl at Utah.
Oh, yeah. Steph. Let's go, baby.
Nah, I'm thinking this is no.
Oh, damn.
That's Weber State.
Gonzaga.
Anyway, what are we doing?
Having fun?
Yeah. Jenny looks like a girl at Westminster College.
Damn.
Yes. Jeremy Bolton says, guys.
Guys.
If you could go back to 1968 and choose the O-lineman from the Rams.
Hey, guys.
Which one would be the best one to take out on a date?
Daddy.
Wow. Jesse Harsh says, no, Jake. No. Yes, Jake.
Dude, I'm telling you, Garoppolo all day.
Yes, Jake.
Yes.
Looks more like Keisley, McKenna, or Paisley to me.
Keisley.
The names, though. We haven't done a Utah kid name in a long time.
Give me your best Utah kid names.
Oh, it's Brinley. Brinley.
Breland,
yeah. Like where you combine 2 names. Like, yeah. There was one from the polygamy show, Enoch.
The polygamy show.
The reality series. The one guy's name was Enoch. Like, what are you doing? McChickenly, Carlin says. McChickenly. It's a tasty burger.
Yeah, dude.
How do you even pronounce this? Athenema? Is that no, that's not a real name.
There's no way, dude. Come on.
No way.
Come on.
Rita Keskikuru. Okay. Rita says, this is so beautiful, like art. So many brilliant guys from Finland. Well,
Who the fuck are you?
I mean, Finnish dudes are not that bad. Kurt Myers says Breann, Breeann. Okay. I know a Breann. I used to work with a Breann. Jesse, comment. Jesse Harsh says, my sister-in-law's little sister. Stop it. That's
no way, bro.
No way.
Okay, can you spell it out for us, like how you're supposed to pronounce
That's
that?
got to be Ithenma. I seen my glasses somewhere.
Athema.
Hey, man. Hey, Steve, have you seen my car keys anywhere? Yeah, I seen them on the table. Like, how much hell are you? Athenma? My call on. That can't be true. That can't be true. Britley, Britley, bro. All right. Tanner says, Mont, you need to be specific. There are a ton of polygamy shows these days. Are there really?
Okay, see, but this is the problem. Hold on. I don't want to just skip over this. Okay. This is what happens, Tanner, with all due respect, as the saying goes.
All due respect.
Yeah, this is where the soaker thing came from.
This is what happened. Yeah, that's my point.
Stop it.
Like, this is what happens.
By the way, there is a controversy on this show about who started the soaker name.
It was not me, dude.
No, he says it was you.
I did not start the soaking thing.
I'm with Tanner on this, man. I think it's your fault. Everything's your fault. Tanner also says Micah. Oh, yeah.
For sure.
But Micah's a stud name.
Malachi.
Malachi's one. Bill Pierce, scanner trolling, says, okay. Jeremy Bolton says, it's not so much the name, it's the spelling. Brinley spelled Bringhllee 34 EIGH. Yes. Michaela is such a Utah name. Simple name, but people screw up the spelling all the time. I agree. Mikaela. You're like the head coach of the Utah Grizzlies, Kanasowicz. Good luck. Good luck. You could not even be guess. Michaela spelled like that. You're never getting that.
That's right, T.
Tanner said, this isn't a Utah name, but my niece's name is Memphis. Okay.
John Morant vibes.
You're pronouncing it right. She goes by Eighth. Ath?
Damn.
Come on now.
No, with all due respect, I mean, I don't know, man.
Nykylie, Nykyle. David Hume says Camry. Stop it. You did not name your kid after a car. Hey, this is my daughter, Camry.
Guys.
This is my daughter, Camry.
Hey, guys.
And here's my son, Tesla, and his twin brother, Corolla. Here's Mustang and Bronco as well.
Yeah, I named my dog Tacoma.
And by the way, here's their dad, Tacoma, and my name's Tahoe.
Uh-oh.
What'd you name your daughter? Tahoe?
Tundra.
Dude, if your name's Tundra, you are you know what Tundra looks like.
Oh my God.
You know what Tundra looks like. What Austin Napirsky says Secondis.
Wakanda?
Sagandis. Suggondeese. God damn. I don't even know. Tundra. That's exactly right. San Diego State says Dakota. Yeah, don't forget Dakota. Yeah. I know a couple who name their kids where they were conceived. So they have like
William Street.
They have yeah.
I'm a man.
This is my son. Hi, my name's Jenny. Because it has to be Jenny for this joke. My name's Jenny. This is my son. Bathroom, backseat, and prom night. They're triplets.
We're getting somewhere.
That would be amazing. Tom Basilius says Tundra looks a lot like Monty. Stop it.
Tom, that's not nice, bro. That's not nice.
Here's my son Denali and Tahoe and Bronco. That's exactly right. Bentley. There are many Bentleys.
Yes.
Bentley's kind of a Utah name.
Yeah.
Did we ever find out who was Zach's mom's friend is? We never did find out. We did not find out. Pied Piper, and Piper is absolutely a name. Worked at a call center and called several Ladashas. Ladasha's a name.
Ladasha.
That's a Maury Povich name. Not surprising, Ladasha.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
No, I'm not doing it. I'll put it up on the screen, but I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. No.
Best receipt names.
No.
Best names you put on receipts.
Yeah. What names do you guys? Fat Jesus says, I can't believe you didn't get the suggestion of the Suggondees. That's why I stopped saying it when he put the G. Like, I don't know. There's been, Craven Moorhead. I mean, there are all kinds of great receipt names. There are La Fonda. Yes, that's a great movie. Barry. No, I'm not saying that.
Come on, guy. Bro, that is by far one of the best ones I've ever seen.
Tyler 2K, Tyler 2K, that is a Hall of Famer.
That just launched you into another level on the show. Seriously. Bro.
There are so many of these I can't read. Phil McCrevis, yes. Yes. Kip. Oh, God, Kip. I knew a Kip in high school. He was absolutely a drug addict. Kip, the Kip I went to high school with was, I mean, my God.
Yeah.
Dude, really good-looking kid, though. Like, brown hair with, like, piercing green eyes.
Okay.
That was crazy-looking, dude. Giggity says Super So Kerr.
Okay.
So, Super So space Kerr.
Right.
I believe that's Latin for Tanner Plummer.
Right.
I could be
Obviously,
wrong.
yeah.
Tanner,
Dude, you're going to piss him off again, dude.
I'm trying to
relax.
Tyler says Hugh Janus. Yes. I've used Hugh Janus before. Okay. Donkey. Oh my God.
Dude.
When is All-Star voting, and can you guys name the All-Stars in the West? Cody, why?
Stop trying to get it back on track.
Why do you want to do that?
Come on.
Why do you want to do that? All right. The Monty Show is presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. Again, with winter weather coming in, I'm telling you, not everybody takes care of their cars. There's a lot of people who can't afford new tires. They drive around on slicks, and they wind up getting into accidents. Are you somebody that's been hit, by a car? Are you somebody that got hit on your bicycle, your motorcycle? Did you get hurt at work? Yes, they do workman's comp. Yes, they do medical malpractice. But this time of year, there's so many car accidents. We were driving down Bangerter, coming from South Jordan down here to the Mavericks Center where we do the show every morning.
Yeah.
And there were at least 4 multi-vehicle accidents on Bangerter. I'm telling you, if you get into an accident, you need an attorney. Go to the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. You never pay a consultation fee. There's no big retainers. You do not pay the advocates until they win your case. They know that when you get in an accident, it's likely one of the worst days of your life. That's why they're going to fight for you. They'll help you defer your medical bills. All they do is win at the UtahAdvocates.com. Chat with them online. Right now, make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Some of these names, come on now. Come on. Mo Lester, yes. Abe Froman, if you know, you know. Abe Froman's one of the... Where's Abe Froman from? You do not know the Sausage King of Chicago.
No.
See, Arlington Heights Bears, this is who I live with.
With all due respect.
On a daily basis. Not like he doesn't live at my house. I know that, we're just the YouTube hacks who do the show arguably in Jake's basement. He has an apartment. He doesn't have a basement.
Right.
But
Right.
Abe Froman is from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He is the fictitious Sausage King of Chicago.
Okay. He's an expert.
How do you not know that? I don't. Turd Ferguson. Yes. Turd Ferguson. Mike Houshi, get it?
See what he did there? See what he did there?
What I mean? Tyler 2K. All right. Tyler, you win. My guy, you win.
Dude.
You absolutely
clutch
win.
Performance this morning, I have to say. Very clutch performance.
Win. Let's talk some hoop because LeBron got hurt last night against the Clippers. If you're the Lakers, do you just tear it down? I think you have to. If you're the LA Lakers, I think now you have to. And I told you last week, we were told by one of our best NBA sources that they are open for business on Anthony Davis. I'd absolutely make that trade.
Yeah.
I would. And I think it's the only place that works. I would trade for Kyrie Irving. I mean, it just, they cannot continue to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know how you
you
get
to
to
change
that.
your course.
You have to.
You have to kind of, do something that sort of alters your trajectory here, because, whether we like it or not, Father Time is undefeated and Bron doesn't have a lot of years left here. So like, I think that he can still be a top end player. I still think he can do a lot of great things. Even just his ability to pass has always been next level. So to me, I just think that you have to, I think you got to move AD, and I think you got to get back in a good place financially. So,
Yeah. I think it is one of those things where, you have to make hard decisions. And I think this is one of the things the Jazz did this summer. It's very easy not to make hard decisions. And we talk about it all the time on the show. You have to do hard. You have to embrace hard. You have to do things in this life that you don't want to do. You know what? You have to do the things you have to do so you can do the things you want to do. For the Jazz, they didn't want to trade Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. They had to, so that they could go on and do the thing they want to do, which is win a championship. And I think they will do that. But you have to make hard decisions. You don't want to trade Anthony Davis, but he's kind of forced your hand now. You have to do that. You probably don't want to trade Kyrie, but you have to trade him. And I think they're better without him. The Brooklyn Nets looked fantastic last night. By the way, I think one of the other stories outside of LeBron is the New York Knicks are just not as good as everybody projected them to be. And I put a lot of that on the mix of this team. And I think there's a lot of, when you bring in a guy like Jalen Brunson, there's a lot of new to that offense. But I still maintain they just don't have the alpha male. And it's not Brunson. It's certainly not R.J. Barrett, in my opinion.
Yeah. Are you Julius?
Are you surprised the Knicks are still this bad?
Not really. I mean, I think that, I think Jalen Brunson has done his job. Like, I think the problem was the Knicks thought he'd come in and, take them to the playoffs, and I think that Jalen Brunson can do a lot. Like, he can, but the fact is he's not LeBron or Kevin Durant or Steph Curry or like that elite guy that is generational. He is a great contributor on a championship team. I think he's in a starting 5 on a championship team. And I think he's a traditional point guard that can score a little bit. That's what he is. He's got a great game. Love watching him play, but he's not taking you to the postseason.
Yeah, I don't know that. I think there are the good teams that are struggling right now. Like, we talked about this with Minnesota, and I'll bring it up again because I think it's a really pertinent conversation. Like, if you look at the biggest stories in the NBA, the question that I would ask, and the thing that I always wonder about is, how many of these teams are capable of turning around? Do you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves as a team that's capable of turning it around? No,
not really. I think that, I've never been a fan of the Rudy Gobert experience. And I think that, when you combine his game with what D'Lo's not doing right now, and you combine that with a young guy in Anthony Edwards, like, on paper, it looks great. And I understand why they took that shot. Like, why the front office in Minnesota took that shot and that chance. But I think, at some point, someone's got to learn a lesson here on Rudy Gobert. This is not rocket science. You can't pay the guy that much money and think that you're all of a sudden going to be a championship team. Like, it just doesn't work that way. Like, I think people in their head go, oh, yeah, he's just going to play defense and that'll be good. But what people don't consider is that the NBA is too good for that, right? Like, guys can get around Rudy Gobert. Offenses are going to manipulate your defense and do what they want.
But is Rudy Gobert the reason they're struggling?
Not the sole reason.
I think he probably gets too much blame and too much credit. I think you look at the core of that roster, they did not put enough credence into the impact of the Beasleys and the Vandos. You had no idea what Walker Kessler was.
Yeah.
You're probably a better team today if you had not made the Gobert trade. I think that's almost universal. If you had not traded for Rudy Gobert, you're probably in a better position in the West than you are now if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I think the other thing that you have to remember about the T-Wolves is it's not early anymore. The Jazz are 10-3. They are, you're coming up on the quarter post in 2 weeks here. It's not early anymore. So you have to make a decision. You got to put your foot in the ground and pivot to who you're going to be. And I just don't think that Rudy Gobert being their leading scorer last night was accidental. It's because they didn't shoot the ball well. And when they don't shoot well, Karl Anthony Towns doesn't score a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's really awkward when you're trying to have Karl Anthony Towns. Anthony Davis is another guy, and I know I've said this a lot, but somebody forgot to tell those two guys, you have to defend the power forward position as well as play it. And when you put 5 guys on the floor, and I think when you play small ball, the Jazz are a great example of this. When you play small ball, you can put 5 guys on the floor and figure out who's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
When you put 5 guys on the floor and 2 of them are centers, you're going to struggle.
Facts.
And I don't think that's revolutionary. But when you're asking Karl Anthony Towns to defend power forwards, this is where guys that are between a 3 and a 4 eat Karl Anthony Towns up, which forces Rudy Gobert to rim protect, which forces all the same problems he's always had with the Jazz. So my whole point in this is I don't see Minnesota making some huge rebound unless they go and flip D'Lo for somebody else, unless you go and make a significant roster-altering trade down the roster from Cat and Gobert. And I think you're going to have to be much more flexible than they've been with the lineup. But having said that, the only team that I can see really hitting the booster button here and coming up the standings is the Golden State Warriors. And they get that kind of leeway and that, I don't know, benefit of the doubt, is that the right word?
Yes.
Because they are capable, and we've seen them do it before.
Yes.
But I also look at the Brooklyn situation. Man, I feel like they are far more dangerous without Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, when you notice a lot of these teams either have a leader or they don't. It's always been Kevin Durant's team. It's always been Steph's team. It's always been Bron's team. But when you have secondary guys who want to be the man, that's where you get issues, right? That's where it becomes a problem. And it's always been a problem with Kyrie. Kyrie has never wanted to say, yeah, I'm second in command, and I fill that role at a really, really high level. And that's what I think the core issue has been. And I hope that Ben Simmons can figure it out, because frankly, Kevin Durant's going to need him. Like, there's no doubt about that. Like, if they have any championship aspirations, Ben Simmons is going to have to get back to being the guy he was, the elite defender, the guy that can really make a difference for you. So I just look at Kevin Durant and I look at that team and I say, just simplify things. Like, run everything through Kevin Durant like you did last night and let him operate and work around him. It's never a bad idea to give a guy like Kevin Durant the basketball. Like, it's just not. So that's why I think a lot of these teams overcomplicate stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. K-Nerd says, yes, the Lakers tank could get the number 1 lottery pick. Well, I don't think they have their pick this year.
No.
I don't think they have their pick this year. Tyler 2K says, I feel bad for Rudy because he's been playing very well, but the team around him are folding. Rudy dropped 25 last night, but it's the same story with the Jazz. He only has big numbers when they struggle.
Yep.
And what you've been seeing when they've played better, it's because they feature Karl Anthony Towns. Rudy has smaller offensive numbers. Karl has bigger numbers, and I think they're generally a better team that way. But Rudy's an elite rebounder. So what happens is they miss a bunch of shots. He rebounds, cleans up, gets putbacks, right? And he makes his free throws. So, Tanner Plummer says, okay, Monty and Jake, without looking it up, who's BYU basketball playing next?
Hey, guys.
Is it... I want to say it's San Diego State.
Gonzaga.
No, it's not. It's not Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
I don't know. I think it's San Diego State. I only know that because I was looking at the San Diego State basketball schedule.
Oh, what about Pacific? It must have been Pacific. Must have been Pacific.
That's volleyball today. Oh wait, no, they forfeited.
That's right, Pete.
I can't say for certain. Tanner, I don't know.
Why does that, with all due respect,
I don't know why does that matter? I don't know. Brent Burnett says, Jazz paid Gobert big bucks so they could justify the Wolves trade. Gobert getting paid had to happen for the Jazz to pump and dump. No, it didn't.
Nah.
That was one of the worst decisions in the history of NBA contracts. It is, today, still one of the worst contracts in the league.
Yep.
And, again, if you've watched this show for any number of months, go back to the day he signed that contract. We told you. This was not pump and dump. This was Dennis Lindsey rewarding Rudy Gobert for what I am not sure, because we've always known Rudy Gobert was an elite rim defender. He is not a great defensive player. He is a pick and roll guy on offense. His best, highest use is cleanups and putbacks.
Yeah.
That's not $41 million a year on average. So it was not a pump and dump. It was not. Let's see. Wolves are better off keeping. We're better off keeping their role players for sure. Wolves might have been better, but it takes courage to change. Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Well,
it
and I think the tough part was is you You were in the same spot as the Jazz. You had to do something. Like, you had to, like, make a move of some variety. Like, you couldn't just stay where you were because you had too much potential.
There were 15 teams that were inquiring about Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
And ultimately it came down to the Chicago Bulls and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves were willing to include Walker Kessler and a bunch more picks. The deal got done.
And why is that? I don't know how many of you know this, but Tim Connolly, the former front office guy at the Nuggets, tried to draft Rudy and didn't.
Yes.
Goes to the Wolves, him and Danny talk, and he gets Rudy because he really likes Rudy Gobert. So, like, it's cool, but I don't have an issue with Rudy Gobert. The guy's name could be Bob, and I'd still say the same thing. Like, dude can't shoot a basketball, and I'm tired of hearing about how, he shoots threes overseas. That's cool, dude. We're in the NBA here.
Where he shot an air ball the other night.
Yeah, so, like, I get tired of that. Like, I don't know why we can't just be honest and say, hey, dude, he's one of the best rim protectors in the league. There's nothing wrong with that. The only issue is Dennis Lindsey is an idiot and signed a check that he shouldn't have signed.
We tend to vilify Rudy for that contract. You would have said yes to. You'd have signed that in a second.
Yes.
All I'm saying is Rudy Gobert is on the wrong side of 30. You know who that guy is. He's not going to change his stripes. You're going to have to deal with that salary because that's who the guy is.
Facts.
It is what it is. Tanner says, oh, yeah, there's RSL Stadium. My life just got significantly better. I like it. Macho Man. Oh, yeah. Says, funny thing is, this current Jazz team reminds me of the Hawks from a few years back when they took first in the East but were knocked out of the playoffs because they had no star on the team.
Yep.
I don't disagree with that. I don't. Tyler 2K. I don't pay attention to records before the trade deadline. I think it's still early. 10-3 is cool, but it would be even more impressive if they keep doing it well. But eventually teams will figure us out. I don't disagree with that. Let's see. Louis Campazzo says, Ben Simmons, what a flop. He played really well last night. If you're expecting Ben Simmons to be a 20-10 guy, he's going to be disappointing.
Yeah.
But if you just expect Ben Simmons to facilitate for Kevin Durant and play good defense, he's going to surprise you every night.
Yeah.
And expectations are this thing that we as humans struggle with. We all the time in life, in sports, in sex, in business, we put our expectations on somebody else, and when we're disappointed, we blame them instead of blaming ourselves. You know who Rudy and Ben Simmons are. If you have expectations that either one of them is going to knock down 40% of their three-pointers in volume, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
If you expect Ben Simmons to become an elite mid-range player, that's a you problem. The expectation is the problem, right? The issue here is the expectation is being far out exceeded by their performance on the floor with the Jazz at 10-3, but don't get away from the expectation. You are now happy because you're not going to be a 500 team. But if this team was 500, would they have disappointed you? You're going to say yes, they started 10-3, but they played over their heads. If they finish 500 and you're disappointed, that's a you thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what the expectation for this team should be, right? Marby Dog says Markkanen was always this good, but his teammates would never support him being the number one option until this year. Why? Because he wasn't this good with the Bulls. I'm a diehard Chicago Bulls fan, and trust me when I tell you, he's evolved and grown as a player. Everybody has always known that he could shoot. The issue with him is he was soft. He was not the hard body that he is now. He was not the banger that he is now. He was not the finished.
Right, because he's from Finland.
The finisher. Anyway, he was not the polished gem that he has evolved into now.
Yeah.
He is a better player now than at any time when he was a Chicago Bull. And now he can play physical. That Euro step with the left hand, it's impossible to stop. So I just, Rance says Gobertis is a 90s center. Doesn't work for today's NBA. Nets' new coach is better, Jacque Vaughn. I agree. Ainge must have practiced on tri-day trading except for the NBA.
Not really sure what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Tanner says, LOL, I just heard a girl on the train say yes, 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 and no, it wasn't Lisa's friend. Sorry, Mont. Damn, you could have got her number.
Yes.
Caleb, what's up? Says, D'Angelo Russell is more to blame. I would have way more than 6 assists with all that talent around me. Well.
Yeah.
Tanner says, it's San Diego. It is San Diego State. So I got it right. Tyler 2K says Russell and Edwards, in my opinion, are what's bringing down the Timberwolves. Edwards was supposed to take that leap forward. He hasn't. D'Lo is a mess. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong about that. I mean, it just...
Yeah.
Salty Drunk, good morning. Looks like the Rudy hate continues no matter what jersey he's wearing. It's not hate. It's facts.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert is not a bad player.
And this is where we part ways, because you think we're saying he's a bad player and we're not.
I don't think he's a bad player. What it's what I've always said about Rudy. He's just a guy. If Rudy Gobert is your highest paid player, you're not winning a championship.
Yeah, you got problems.
If you build your team around Rudy Gobert like the Jazz did, you're not winning a championship. If he is a guy that you expect nothing from offensively, and he is there simply to be a shot blocker, you're in good shape. And anything he gives you offensively is gravy. Because what should be happening is Anthony Edwards should be the guy, the straw.
Yeah.
The problem is Karl Anthony Towns won't let that happen because he wants to be the guy. Well, the issue is you're paying him $50 million a year, right? The issue is that Anthony Edwards is a young buck and D'Angelo Russell isn't a leader. He's too soft mentally, so he can't lead and tell people, hey, they're missing an alpha male on that team. That's what they don't have. And again, it's what I say about Rudy on the Jazz. Rudy wanted to be a leader, and he did that by raising his voice. That isn't leadership. That's not leadership. And they don't have a guy in that room that's a leader, and that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
It will become a problem with this Jazz team because you need to find leadership on this Jazz team. You need to figure out who the alpha on this team is because it's all good when you're winning. When you're 10-3, nobody gives a damn about your leadership.
Yep.
When you're 3-10, everybody wants to know what's wrong with your leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go through a bad stretch, let's talk about who their leader is. Brett Burnett says Wolves as a team just aren't playing like one. Not really Gobert being the issue, just not a good team yet, and hopefully not. Well, we'll see. K. Nuren says, who wins more, Rudy or Don? Well, micro or macro? Like this year, Donovan. In the long term, Donovan. But it depends on where Rudy ends up. Well, it does. And it depends on how quickly the T-Wolves decide to blow that thing up, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Rudy just is... Look, it is what it is, man. The guy is limited in his game, and he's been paying the price for that his whole career. I mean, you have to be able to shoot it or contribute individually. Like,
who would you rather have, Victor Wembanyama or Rudy Gobert? Well, it's nothing to think about. I'd rather have Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Because he shoots the three really well. He's got a handle. He can create some offense. Rudy's biggest problem is he can create no offense for himself. He needs a lob. He needs a missed jumper. He cannot dribble. He cannot play with his back to the basket.
Yeah.
I mean, it just he is what he is. Again, the Rudy Gobert conundrum is that the improper expectations.
Yeah, it's not even to me. Like, to me, it's always been misplaced that it is a conundrum. It's not a conundrum. Evaluate the guy. Just like you guys were happy to say Donovan didn't play defense, I'm happy to say that Rudy Gobert is not somebody who can shoot a basketball. Like, he's just not. And I don't think that's a crime.
But this has been the plague of the Jazz, too. They haven't evaluated talent well. They haven't drafted well. They haven't developed well. They haven't evaluated well. It's a problem. It is absolutely a problem. I mean, the guys you missed on in the draft, please. JM says Jazz 72-10. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to happen.
Right.
Righto. Give me some of what you're taking. Riley O'Brien says he did draft him but traded him, right? Who do you mean traded?
I can't remember exactly what happened. Connolly with Gobert in the Nuggets.
He did draft him and trade him.
Yeah.
He traded him to the Jazz. That's exactly right. The Nuggets drafted Spida and Rudy. Yes, they did. Is that a trick question, Kay? It's obviously Don. Brett Burnett says Don wins more but not really playing the same position, so I hate the comparison. I wouldn't disagree with that. Andy, good morning to you. Andy. Andy, good morning to you. The 2020 Thunder won 50 games in 2020 lockdown when they had CP3 and a role player like Gallinari, Steven Adams, and a young SGA, yes. Well, but you got to figure out who your CP3 is, right? And that's why...
that's got to be Mike Conley.
I don't think so. I think you're going to have to go... That guy's not on the roster. Your CP3 superstar, unquestioned, respect in the locker room guy is not on the roster. He's not here. And you're going to have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Rand says, Pat Bev helped their defense more than Gobert has. Gobert is a big, clumsy center that gets a block occasionally, has 0 post-game. 0. But he also changes a lot of shots. I mean, the brilliance of his defense isn't that he blocks shots. It's the shots he forces people not to take.
Yeah.
How many times do we see guys run through the paint and not shoot because they don't want him to block it? So, he's a defensive force.
He's a
in
rim
the paint.
protector, man. Like that's the label, man.
And he's a really good rim protector.
Yeah, like I don't know why. We don't have to justify anything. Like I'm happy to say I'll die on the hill. The guy inside the paint around the rim is the best defender in the league. Take him outside of the paint and he's average. It's just what it is.
Fat Jesus. You think Rudy's overrated? What's next? Jimmer can't play in the NBA?
Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Louis Campazzo says, I never expected anything from Ben. The media hype train touted him as the next best thing since sliced bread and gave him the Rookie of the Year, too.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. We in the media tend to do that. We tend to make or break people. And it's almost maddening.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean... Brent Burnett says Rudy and Jimmer have their place. Yes, they do. Justin Salas, morning, fellas. My favorite moment from last night was Hardy yelling at Walker to get back on D because he was jogging down the court after a missed shot. Yes. And there's a lot of that in Jordan Clarkson.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not a huge fan of that. I love Jordan Clarkson is probably my favorite Jazz man. But it drives me crazy that he pouts after a missed shot.
Yeah, or the strong side turnover where he just mishandled the ball and they took it from him.
I hate that.
Come on.
I hate that. By the way, we're at Maverick Center, and we're on the concourse here. We're watching them set up the concourse for the Alan Parsons project tonight. Who is the Alan Parsons project? Good show. Good show. I'm telling you. Maverick Center's back. It's fun to see the electricity around the building, by the way. K. Nuren says, root for Minnesota to keep losing. We have their draft pick. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Can KD play the 2? He can.
KD can play any position, man.
Yeah, and he's that guy that truly, and I love this about the NBA right now as we talk NBA hoops on the Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at TryDayTrading.com. TryDayTrading.com. If I said to you right now, every day for the rest of the year, every business day for the rest of the year, you could make between $300 and $1,000. Now ask yourself this question. How much am I going to make today? How much money are you making today? Are you making $300 to $1,000 today? You're probably not. Every day, there are success stories at Tri-Day Trading where people are making hundreds and thousands of dollars a day. There's no reason you can't do that. Tri-Day Trading as a career, you absolutely should try day trading as a career.
Yeah.
And trade with their money, not yours. That's how it works at TryDayTrading.com. And I just am begging you. I am begging you to stop making excuses and start taking steps to better your life, because you should be doing this, man. And if we are examples to you of anything, we took a huge leap and now we're sitting here. You can do the same thing with TryDayTrading.com. Paychecks are the things they give you to make you forget your dreams, man. I'm telling you right now, it's the drug they give you to make you forget your dreams. Stop doing that. Stop working for somebody else. Be in business for yourself. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Watch the free webinar and then make a decision. That's all we're asking you to do. Well, it's not just us. It's also Alema Harrington.
Alema Harrington here. I've been in the broadcast business going on 30 years now. And after that amount of time, you start to be able to pick some winners. I want to share a winner that I'm aware of with you, and that is my guys at Tri-Day Trading. They're going to teach you how to trade, and then they're going to let you trade using their money and then split the profits with you. That's a pretty winning deal. If you want to register for a free webinar, all you have to do is go to TryDayTrading.com/Monty. So for more information, it's TryDayTrading.com/Monty. We'll see you there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harrington. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. You guys got to hook it up. You got to do it. Great win by the Utah Grizzlies last night. Captain Connor McDonald with the game winner in OT. Absolutely. They're back home next weekend against By the way, next weekend is a huge weekend here at the Maverick Center. Not only do the Salt Lake Stars start playing here at the Maverick Center next weekend, not only will Scoot Henderson be on this show.
That's right.
They said yes.
Y'all feel me?
That'll be the last weekend of November. But the building is being pretty much made over. All of the video boards, the new center hung scoreboard, the Jumbotron that used to hang at Vivint Arena now is at Maverick Center. All the digital boards that used to be up at Vivint Arena now make up the south end of the lower bowl at Maverick Center. Amazing. All the big ribbon boards, those digital display boards that go around the upper deck, those are now all in here at Maverick Center. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is absolutely beautiful. The sound system's been upgraded. This building is lit. And if you have not been to Maverick Center, next weekend is the time to do that.
Yeah.
The 17th, the weekend of the 17th, get out to Maverick Center. Get tickets to the Utah Grizzlies right now at utahgrizzlies.com. The club is in second place in the Mountain Division at 5-3. Just 2 points behind the Idaho Steelheads, who, guess what, are in town next weekend. We need you. Let's fill up the building here at Maverick Center. It's going to be amazing. Let's get some more comments on the Jazz, because I also want to get to the best chicken sandwich, because yesterday was National Chicken Sandwich Day. By the way, during the last commercial, Jake's like, hey, by the way, got to burn a deuce. None of this 9:30 crap.
Dude, I'm exhausted today. I got to tell you, bro.
What do you mean?
I don't know, man. Just grinding it out today.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah.
Rance says, Brent, they upgraded the roster. Gobert, not worth the contract. Not worth the contract at all.
Hell no.
Jeremy Bolton, my guy, says the Jazz have had one of the hardest schedules in the NBA. The only other team with 9 wins is the Bucks. They have only played 3 away games. Jazz have had 8, and they've got 2 more back-to-back.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday in Washington and Philly.
Yeah.
It's an excellent point.
Yep.
Brent says Gobert was worth that contract. Jazz smart because they cut a deal and leveraged Gobert into a killer trade. You're worth what somebody's willing to pay you.
But don't, you also are saying they only signed him to the deal to trade him, which is garbage. That's not true. They didn't sign him. When Dennis Lindsey signed him to that deal, there was no thought of trading him.
Salty Drunk says, I wonder if Rudy Gobert was born in the U.S. would change Jake's opinion of Rudy. # soft Euro.
No.
That has nothing to do with it.
He is soft and he is a Euro, but I don't understand why you struggle with this with all due respect.
I don't get it.
The guy is soft. Whether he's playing in France or playing in New York City, he's a soft-ass big.
He got played off the floor in the Euros.
Kevin Durant took him to the woodshed.
He quite literally, in the Olympics and then in the Euros, Rudy Gobert got played off the floor.
By the way, soft American players don't even get a chance.
They don't. They don't ever make it to the league.
So I with all due respect, I it wouldn't change my opinion. Just because you're from, Jamaica doesn't mean that you're born soft. He is soft.
Josh Blaylock Dixon says Lisa Wilson drops, please. Yeah, I agree. I mean,
okay.
Any Morales or no.
No.
Yes. Exactly right. Rance says no, it didn't. It didn't. Team sucked last year. Well, the Jazz did not suck last year. Brett Burnett says love Gobert contract. Jazz scored with that contract. Well, it ultimately helped them make an incredible trade. I mean, all's well that ends well, I guess, right? I mean, Ruff's official says DeAndre Ayton got the same contract and averages less points and rebounds. Well, I don't.
DeAndre
but they're
Ayton's
totally
not getting
different
40
players.
a year, is he?
They're totally different players. And when you say DeAndre Ayton got the same contract, I say I don't.
He did? Because that doesn't look like it, bud.
I'm pretty sure he did not.
Got 4 years, $132 million. That works out to $30 a year, which is very different than $45 a year.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting that he got the same contract.
By the way, let's be very clear.
Yeah, it's not
I would
close.
rather have DeAndre Ayton than Rudy Gobert. In today's NBA, yeah, I would.
Yeah, what are you talking about? He got the same contract.
This isn't even a conversation. DeAndre Ayton has a ton of shortcomings defensively. DeAndre Ayton is soft, 100%. He's soft. And guess what? I'm not scared to say that, right? But at the same time, DeAndre Ayton can play pick and pop basketball. DeAndre Ayton can shoot the ball. DeAndre Ayton can dunk a game winner and, do
now, if
things.
he could catch the ball better and if he was more mentally tough, okay.
Then he's getting 40 a year. Then he's all NBA.
He's not even close to paid to what Rudy's paid. You're completely wrong about that.
Yeah.
Also, love Conley's expensive contract now. Jazz couldn't trade him. LOL. Love having Conley now is why the Jazz are winning. He's part of why they're winning.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you on that. K. Nuren says Jazz or BYU makes a bowl game by winning this week. Well, they're not playing this week.
Yeah, they're not playing this week, bud.
So they're on bye. Tom Basilius says, Jake, show me on this doll where Europe touched you with their soft hands. Yeah, we should probably.
I don't even get that. What does that even mean, dude?
Okay, good. Tom, Tanner says. Kenai Johnson says, Tom. That's a reference to SVU where these. Okay, we should move on. Giggity says, nice try, Ruff. Yeah, I mean, the difference between.
It's such a casual take, dude.
It is. It's not
come
even.
On, guy.
I mean, the difference in their contracts.
They're casual.
Are, enormous. It's not even. Rudy Gobert averages $41 million a season, and his last deal. His last deal was massive. Like,
yeah,
it's a 5-year, $205 million deal. How are you even comparing the two? And the escalator in his deal, he's at 38 this year, 41, 43, 46. In his last year of that deal, he's 31.5% of their salary cap.
Nah, I'm fine.
DeAndre never eclipses 25%, and that's this year.
Yeah.
And from there, it goes to 24, 23, and 24%. Like, it's a total. The structure, the value, the whole thing is completely different.
Yeah.
So. It is what it is. $1.99 tip from Josh Blaylock Dixon. Appreciate you, buddy. A couple more, then we have to argue over the best chicken sandwich. Rance says that Lauri Markkanen is going to get paid soon. Well, he's a guy that you want to pay.
Yeah.
He's a guy that you hope you get to pay. What has he got? He's got 2 years and an option. Man, he is... Good Lord. 16.4 this year, 17.2 next year, and then a partially guaranteed $18 million in 24-25.
Yeah.
Oh, you would probably extend him after this season.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
I would think. It is, yeah. I don't know, man. It's all good. All right. Should we argue over the best chicken sandwich? Because then we do have to go.
Yeah.
Yesterday was National Chicken Sandwich Day.
Yeah.
So, Jake.
Yeah.
In your opinion, here in the great state of Utah.
Right. Utah. Right.
Who has the best chicken sandwich in fast food?
Super Chicks. Not even close.
It's not even close.
No, it's not even close. Like, they're better than Slim Chickens. They're better than... who else we got? Chick-fil-A. They're better than that place off State Street. Shake Shack.
I think Shake Shack's a close second.
Yeah.
But here's the question. So is Chick-fil-A and Super Chicks in the same conversation?
Probably not. It's probably unfair to compare them.
So in the chicken sandwich game, I don't think there's any doubt that there's quite a bit of competition though.
Yeah.
I think Cane's is garbage, in my opinion.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
Right.
Cane's is an upgrade. Yeah. Cane's is an upgrade from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Cane's is not even in the same conversation with like Dirty Bird.
No.
Dirty Bird, Super Chicks, Shake Shack.
Slim Chickens.
Slim Chickens for sure.
Yeah.
I would also tell you, by the way, JCWs can compete.
Yep.
But it's Super Chicks.
Yeah, and by the way, I think the other things that make it Super Chicks are the sauce, the fries.
No, Jake, stop it. This is where Ruff and I get on the same page.
You're an idiot just for saying that.
I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah,
I would like to.
I don't get down like that.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to everybody. I have nothing in common with Ruff's official.
That's fucking interesting, man.
My bad. But you do say stupid stuff.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's not sauce. It's ranch dressing that's cut with pure cocaine at Super Chicks.
Yeah.
The ranch dressing at Super Chicks.
So good, dude.
I have to believe it's Colombian. I have to.
And B12.
I have to.
Yeah.
Because I would drink it through a straw. I would snort it through a straw.
I believe the proper nomenclature is it is directly imported from Colombia.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
On a jet boat.
Yeah.
In the Everglades.
And Tony Montana is probably involved.
And so is Sonny Crockett. Who's Sonny Crockett?
You want to?
Seriously?
Who's Sonny Crockett?
From Miami Vice.
Thank you. Crockett and Tubbs.
Guy.
My point is Super Chicks ranch dressing is unbeatable. And the reason that Super Chicks is so good, now their shakes could use some improvement. But their Oreo shake
bomb
with a deluxe chicken sandwich.
Yeah, dude.
An order of fries with just salt on them. About 20 cups of ranch dressing. I mean, oh shit! Forget if it's healthy or not, because it ain't.
20 cups
at least. And you don't need a drink because you use the ranch dressing as your cup of water, right? I'm telling you, Super Chicks is where it's at.
Dude, like, one of us passes the fuck out.
I don't even know.
Yeah, there's not better. There's just not better.
I don't even.
Are we at 200 likes yet, by the way?
I don't know. We're not, actually. We're at 127. Come on now.
Oh, no,
by the way,
did we say we wanted to be at 100 or 200?
200. I would like to be at 200. We said 2. I'm going to end the poll at 534 votes today. Are the Utah Jazz the best team in the NBA?
Let's go.
62% say yes.
Dude, okay. KFC is getting votes? Come on, guy.
534 votes. KFC is not getting votes. Caleb, come on, bro.
Okay, Caleb, do you like the mashed potatoes and gravy at KFC?
Bro.
Because I grew up on that.
Yeah, here we go. San Diego State Aztec says Cane's is underwhelming.
Yeah.
Don't
it's just garbage food. It's trash.
Pied Piper says Raising Cane's is pretty good. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yes, yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Please?
Uh-huh.
Give me a yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Joshua Blaylock Dixon, Wingstop has a good chicken sandwich. Now, my guy, Tanner Walker here at the Utah Grizzlies, routinely gets a Wingstop chicken sandwich for lunch.
Chicken sando.
And it's good. It looks good. It smells good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, but he eats it differently than most people. He just slices his chest open and puts it in his artery.
Oh my God, just like that. Oh.
I mean, he does. That's just, I've seen him do it.
Right.
But that Wingstop chicken sandwich, I have not personally had the pleasure of eating a Wingstop chicken sandwich, but from what I understand, but Raising Cane's, I can't get down with that.
No.
Pretty Bird, yes. Everybody loves Pretty Bird. Les Wayman, though, he makes a good point. No, that's a lie. It's a terrible point.
Dude, bro.
Nothing beats olives on pizza.
Come on.
Wes?
You're really testing me now.
Come on. Carlin Lefevre says, I hate Canes for the traffic they caused on 114th. Carlin, that's right by our house at the district.
Yes.
By the way, our good friends at Quick Quack Car Wash, that new Quick Quack right there in the district, do it. Their grand opening is the 16th. They're open already, by the way.
Yeah.
The grand opening of the Quick Quack Car Wash is the 16th.
Yeah.
Their top-tier car wash is going to be free. They're giving away a gift bag to the first 100 people that come through. Their grand opening week is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Q Walker says Crack Shack. Have not had it, but people love it.
Yeah.
Kanai Johnson says McChicken. I loved the McChicken sandwich.
Yes.
D-Rose says KFC actually has pretty good chicken sandwiches. We're going to have to try that.
Yeah.
We're going to have to try that. Are we going to
take the freeway route, or what's the deal? What are we going to do here?
You guys should vote on this.
Yeah. Can we get one last vote? We got to go here. But let me know what you guys think.
So you're saying you got a deuce.
Yeah,
is what
I do.
saying.
I've had for like 2 hours.
Which way? Ooh.
Yeah.
How high off the seat are you sitting?
Which
way should we go? We're going to Mammoth right after the show.
Yeah.
Which way should we go? Because it's either, see that blue box in the middle that says 8 hours and 6 minutes? That's the fastest route, but it has snowed a ton. Those are all back roads, so we're a little nervous about that.
Yeah.
Do we go out I-80 straight across and then go up, down, and around?
Does it take us through Reno, the top route there?
It does, yes. I believe it does.
Yeah. But then the southern route takes you through St. George, right?
It does. Yeah, I'm not going this. The southern route's 10 and a half hours.
Yeah.
You can't do that. 10 and a half hours, the southern
What's
route.
the top route?
The top route's 9 hours and 4 minutes. Yeah. It's an extra hour.
It's probably safer, though.
It probably is safer.
Yeah.
It probably is safer. Yeah. But you're jealous, though, because I think you got to go through Tahoe on that.
And the top route?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. What are the people saying? What do they think?
Yeah, which way do you guys think we should go? Northern, what does he mean? Northern FS. I don't know what you meant by that, Pied Piper. Or Pied Piper said, an extra hour is worth safety. Yes, it is.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. Gabe says super pretty. Yes, it is. Kanai Johnson says, I meant better safe than sorry. Yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Pied Piper says top route.
Now, here's the deal. So here's my thing. We went to Big O Tires yesterday, if you listen to the show.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that your tires were, a little worn, which is fine.
Not a little worn.
Like,
they need replacement after the winter.
So my thing is, if you were on a fresh set, I would say, screw it. We'll go through the middle. Because you got Quattro, fresh set of tires, you'll be fine. But the worn tire thing has me a little spooked.
It's not like I'm on bald.
Yeah, I know, but you know how that is. Like, it's one slip out there, and you're like, damn.
And there's no going
it's
through
a lot of turning.
Going through that route right down the middle of the screen. There's nothing out there.
It's a gorgeous drive.
It is, and it's 100 miles an hour. You're driving. There's nothing. Nothing.
But
nobody.
You remember that part where it's like winding and there's a lot of turning and
dude.
It's
scary as hell.
That's what I'm saying. Like on a dry road, I wouldn't even question it. But it has snowed a lot out there.
Yeah. Tom Basilius says I-15 with a detour at Cedar City, the back route to avoid the gorge in St. George. Yeah, could do that. Southern route, make a stop in Vegas.
Caleb, my guy. My guy. See, he knows the vibe.
Get some snowmobile and smash through the mountains, Kanai says, would love to.
Yeah.
Rand says Chick-fil-A always busy. Don't get it. Yeah, seriously. Tyler 2K says use a boat. I can't. I mean, if I had a helicopter.
Okay.
If I had a helicopter, I would.
Yeah.
The Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. Does Utah cover the 24 Saturday against Stanford?
Yes.
They do not.
I think they do.
It's going to be too cold for a high-scoring game. It's going to be 33 degrees and clear skies. It's going to be freezing cold at Rice Eccles. Utah wins, they don't cover, and then they go on and beat Oregon.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. We will be back on this show on Monday. You want to see Awesome Mammoth? Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The Monty Show, M-O-N-T-Y, The Monty Show on Twitter and Instagram. Jake is SLC Supercars. Peace out, my friends. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.